Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Today is December the 24th, 2019, Christmas Eve. So I know quite a few of you probably have things to do on Christmas Eve, but I basically have my everyday life to do on Christmas Eve. eBay, straighten up around the house, maybe get out of the house, just to get out of the house. So I figured I would do a live stream today because if you're new to my channel, my name is Adam, and my channel's name is Adam's Exploits. And I normally do an interview show with other resellers on Wednesday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I bring in various resellers with different skill sets, knowledge, experience, and get them to share the stories and get them to share, what works well for them, what doesn't work well for them. Hello, Michelle. Thank you. I always appreciate you being here. You know that. And share their experiences and share their knowledge with other resellers. So being that tomorrow is Christmas Day, I figured that it was probably a good day to do a live stream. Well, first of all, I probably couldn't get a guest. And second of all, who's going to watch on Christmas Day? So I decided to do like a little reseller hangout today. Guys, if you're working on your eBay, your Poshmark, whatever, your Etsy, I appreciate it. Even if you're baking cookies and wrapping presents, if you could just be playing the video on in the background, I would appreciate it. And the notice just went out, so we should be filling in shortly. So that's one good thing when you have your phone with your iPad. If you guys do YouTube, you get the notification and you can see when they come out. So I'm assuming we should be filling in a little bit more shortly. Again, the day in the life of a reseller. I told you guys before, I've had issues with my my Wi-Fi and with my using Comcast, and I've pretty much an open book. I told you guys I want to eventually move down to Delaware, and I need a rancher, and my row house needs quite a bit of work. It was the house I grew up in, and long story short, my mother was ill, and I moved back in with her just prior to her getting ill. And it's basically the last major update to anything was done in like the 80s. I've done a little bit of work. I had to put in a sump pump and a garage door and that kind of thing, but nothing major has been done to this home for 15, the 20, almost over 30 years. So, hey, I'm a Flipper. Thanks for joining us, buddy. So nothing major has been done. So that's the plan anyway, to eventually move down to Delaware. So getting back to where I was, I get sidetracked sometimes. I was having problems with the Ethernet. What I was relaying the story was I didn't want to sign a contract with Comcast or Fios because I have intentions of moving, and you have to basically sign a 2-year contract to get any kind of decent deal. Karen, I was just thinking about you. So glad to see you. I was thinking about you and Ben and how he's doing, how you're doing. I'm glad you were able to stop by. And eventually, I want to have your other half to come in and join me for have Jason join me for a little interview about book selling on Amazon. I know he's working at Amazon right now, so I figured it'd be crazy. So I figured after the holidays, maybe he could join me on. I know he told me he was off on Mondays, so maybe we can work something out. Oh, Jason's there too. Oh, good. Okay. Hey, Jason. So I don't know if you heard me. Eventually, I would like you to join me on one of my interview shows. To discuss selling books on Amazon. I know when I was interviewed by Steve Rakin, he was talking about there's an app out there that you can basically snipe books from FBM, fulfilled by merchant sellers on Amazon, or I'm assuming it probably sources from eBay as well. I don't know, but again, there's fees involved in that. So eventually, and I was just had a Casey on. I don't know if you saw my interview last week when I had a bunch of resellers on, Jason. It was just kind of like an open panel kind of discussion. And I was discussing how I kind of got my start with reselling. And I was telling Casey that, 90% I learned was from him. And when I first started reselling, I was following you and Lindy Glenn and Casey. And you guys were, not Casey, but you guys were selling jeans. So I figured I could get jeans for $1 a pair. And I went in my whole spiel about, get jeans for $1 a pair. An excellent snicker. Well, I don't know if you saw. I kind of grew out my beard. I have my. I'll just wear this momentarily because again I was going to tell you guys I was a little discombobulated, but I wore this for my holiday show, but again I was all discombobulated. I had to take a shower, and I'm all hot from a shower, so I didn't want to wear my Santa hat. So hey, Chacha, I haven't seen you forever. It's good to see you here. So anyway, so I was talking about the Ethernet. I got sidetracked. So there's always issues with my Ethernet. Because like I said, my signal dropped out about 3 weeks ago when I was doing another reseller hangout. I believe that was around Thanksgiving. There was an issue, with the scheduling, whatever. So I said, let me do another reseller hangout. So I always watch my replays to see if I can do anything better, or if, whatever for YouTube, or if I can pick up any, bits of knowledge. So I'm watching the replay. It's like, holy crap, that picture got terrible all of a sudden. So obviously my Wi-Fi signal, my signal from Comcast really dropped. I said, okay, well, what can I do? Short of signing a contract and getting broadband. So I decided that I was going to get an Ethernet cable and plug in directly into my modem. So I did a little research, and people recommended like the 6E. I didn't even know, but there's different grades of Ethernet cables. So whatever. So I got the 6E, and I had to get a 75-foot run. So, got it off Amazon, of course. So anyway, I had gone to Comcast. They have a local Xfinity store here, and I asked them about that. And I told them the issues I was having, and they said, "Oh, that should work, and get the 6E." I said, "Okay." In fact, the person I spoke to, her husband streams gaming live streams on Amazon. So Glenn's here. I don't even see him yet. Alexis, the StreamYard's quite a bit behind. There's a lag. So I got the 75-foot Ethernet cable, and every time I try to hook it up, there's always an issue. I have to shut down my computer. I have to shut down the modem. I have to restart everything. So apparently there's some kind of workaround where you mess with your settings, and I don't really want to. I guess eventually I'll have to do that because it's a real hassle. It takes me like an extra 15, 20 minutes every time I want to set up to do streaming. You were vacuuming? Okay. Well, I was just explaining my my Wi-Fi and my Ethernet issues, Wes. Again, I'm trying to up my YouTube game a little bit and try to get a little bit better picture. I decided to use the broadband, not the broadband, the Ethernet cable, and plug in directly into the modem because I saw that my signal had dropped. I purchased the camera, a Canon M50. That's kind of an entry level camera. And again, the last one I had was a Canon, but it was like a pocket camera, like a digital camera before all the smartphones came out. I mean, I had a smartphone. I had a basic smartphone, but before all the high tech like the iPhones and all with their super duper cameras and everything came out. So anyway, so the M50 is basically an entry level, but it's it's a big step up from using a webcam. So and I want to do a little bit of vlogging, and I was vlogging with my hey Joy, thanks for joining us. So a little bit of vlogging with my my iPhone, which works relatively well, but I decided I want to up my game and get the Canon camera. So that's another story. So to live stream with that, there's issues. And again, I know I talk about YouTube but that's what's on my mind, YouTube and reselling it and my health. That's kind of my life right now, trying to get, healthier. So anyway, so there's some issues, with live streaming with that particular camera. Basically what happens is it puts all like the screen from the camera, like all the settings and everything, and the autofocus box, it pops up on your live stream. So basically what you have to do is you have to get a software program, or there's a workarounds where you can turn off the autofocus, which I don't want to turn off the autofocus because I really know nothing about cameras. So I want to use the autofocus. So basically you buy a device, a capture card, which I had just purchased. And in fact, it's laying around here somewhere. I just got it delivered. So you plug your camera into that, and you plug it into your laptop, your computer, whatever. And then you have to have this software loaded, and that'll take off the autofocus box and whatever. So that's where I'm at. So then I figured, okay, well, it's a working hangout. So I want to do some eBay, I want to organize, and I want to do some eBay stuff. And I told you guys I was doing inventory, and I got halfway through, and then I didn't finish it. And it's like, well, this is a good excuse to finish my inventory. So being that I'm plugged in through the Ethernet cable, I didn't think it would be an issue. But apparently, even though I have a router and I have a modem, for some reason, my printer is not picking up the wireless signal from my router, which I don't understand. I turned the printer off and on. I tried to send wirelessly, the signal to my printer to print out my listing so I could do my inventory. And it's not receiving it for whatever reason, which I don't understand that, but that's the case. So I do have some old inventory sheets, so I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on reorganizing some stuff. My home is a disaster area. eBay has overtaken everything. It's like, I order boxes. I order things from Amazon or something, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't have to pay for boxes. If I get the Amazon boxes, I could just, deconstruct them and then store them. Well, of course, I never deconstruct the boxes, so I got boxes everywhere. So that was my idea too, to work on that, trying to breaking down those boxes. So that's the plan. So if you guys are baking cookies or wrapping presents, or you're working on your e-commerce stores, I appreciate you hanging here. And I think I missed one or two people. Empty Picker, I don't think I said hello to you. And I know I said hello to Joy, Alexis, and Karin, and Jason. And Wes, I said hello to. Shasha, I said hello to. And, of course, my moderator, Michelle. And there's Glenn. Good morning, Glenn. Amish at Flipper, I said hello to him. So I guess that's it, guys, other than the people that may be lurking. So, again, what were you saying, Wes? Can you just wire? I could, but here's another story. The thoughts of Adam. When I first got into reselling, you need to break down boxes before your guests try. There you go. So I just gave you a tip, Wes. Yeah. So what were you saying? I'm sorry. I lost. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Robert. Wired to the printer. Right. Yes and no. When I first started, joining eBay or selling on eBay, I said, I heard all these things about getting viruses, and if I have a virus, and I'm really doing well with eBay, basically I'm going to be out of business because I can't use my computer to do anything. So I had bought that's when my health was just so. So I stood in line at the Best Buy. They had a laptop on sale for like $350 or something. Just a basic. I don't know if it's a Dell or an HP. I think it's a Dell. So basically, I set it up originally, and then I everything all set up and everything, and then I was like, every time I wanted to use this, like, oh, I got to print out one label. Oh, I'll just print it from my regular laptop. Oh, I got to do this, do research. I'll do it from this. So long story short, I haven't touched that computer in a year and a half. So yes and no is a port. If I wanted to go through all the rigmarole on setting up that laptop, I could wire it into the printer and print, because like I said, I had the hassle of setting this all up and getting the Ethernet to work. I don't want to have to disconnect the Ethernet and then bring this computer upstairs and wire it into the printer and then have an issue. So I'm not going to go that route. But thanks for the tip, Wes. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. So that's where I'm at. So hopefully you guys have all your Christmas shopping done. I've been around some of the shopping centers. I'll show you guys something real quick. And again, this is kind of resale related and not resale related. I told you guys before, for RA or OA, I typically belong to a couple different websites where they have like flash sales that they basically tell you like what are the best deals of the day on the various sites. So this was a Kohl's thing, and you could see I have my scruff on. So what happened was with again, this is kind of a manly kind of thing, but when you get older and you have gray hair, it's really coarse. It's like wire brush almost, like barbed wire. So it's difficult to shave, and razors are expensive. So I said, okay, well, so I would use like in between, I would use like the little rechargeable, razor. And then it got to the point where it wasn't working right. So it's like, oh, shoot, what the heck is going on with this stupid thing? So what I realized was that's probably the, it has, razor blades in it, the little round ones, Norelco. And I guess basically just the razors, dulled. So I would have to replace the razors, and I don't even know what that would cost. Because I think back in the day, I paid like $40 or $50 for that. So anyway, long story short, I was on one of these websites where they tell you about deals, and I was looking to see if there's anything I can use, for RA, to resell, or if there's anything that I might happen to need. And it's like I had no intention of going near any of the malls or the shopping centers. But so what happened was the other local stores near me had this item. Basically what it is, and I don't know how much glare you're going to get from my light box, but it's an Arelco razor, and then it's the little trimmer. You can do your eyebrows. You can, when men, I joke with the people when I got my hair cut, because again I do the bargain hunter, the reseller deals. I go to the local beauty school and I get my hair cut. I figure nobody's going to see me. I'm home most of the time. I just go out to the grocery store and stuff. I don't care if they mess it up. First of all, my hair doesn't grow that fast on top anyway. So I go to the local beauty school, and it's $5 for a haircut, and then I tip the person like $5. So anyway, so that's the deal. So and then in between, I can use this to kind of like trim up, my sideburns, and trim up my whatever around my eyebrows and whatnot. So I'm having trouble reading. What's it say? You have a supply of razors from garage sales. Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, Glenn, I made a mistake. I saw something. I told you, just telling you about that story about how I go on these different websites and these special sales and stuff. And I thought, oh, wow, these are really cheap for Gillette razors. And I thought it was like the, like the sensor or something with like 4 razors or 5 razors. Here was the Gillette, disposable razors. So it's like, oh, what are you going to do? So anyway, let me move this chat. I'm gonna increase the font a little bit on this. It's different when I'm doing an interview. I'm paying attention to the interviewee, and I have other people watching the chat for me, like Michelle. And I know, okay, I made it a little bit bigger so I can see better. You had your goal milestone yesterday, Wes. Do you want to share with us, or is that secret? You just set a goal for the year and you made your goal, or is that something like a dollar amount you can share with us? And like Karen said, congratulations. That's great. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with eBay and with Poshmark. I mean, I hear mixed things. I really think it has to do with what you're selling, the quality of what you're selling, the pricing, and the volume you do. And I've said before. And again, when I had Casey on last week, and with other people, I was talking to Casey, and I said, sometimes I'm my own worst enemy, and with eBay especially, it's kind of like list or perish. So I mean, you don't want to just put junk up there, but if you're not, yeah, Glenn, I used mine, and I think I mentioned that. I don't know if I mentioned it on one of my shows or whatever a couple of weeks ago, but yes, remember to use your eBay if you have a store. Use your eBay store supply coupon before the end of the year. I use mine. That's another story. For somebody that doesn't have really an exciting life, I have all these issues revolving around me. So talking about the store supplies, the last batch I got shipped, I had a porch pirate steal my boxes in a box. So I had, you're going to fall short of your goal, or are you close? You're going to grind harder next year. Okay. So anyway, I had a porch pirate steer my boxes in a box. I ordered eBay boxes. I ordered like the hat size boxes, for like the ball cap kind of hats, because I try to get them sometimes, the trucker hats, to resell, or if I see on the various resellers, if I find a good deal on a hat, or if I find them online, a good deal on hats. I don't like to ship those in poly bags. I think it's more professional to ship them in a box, especially if somebody's paying, $20 some. Need a sip of water, guys. Sorry. Especially if somebody's paying like $20 for a hat, I feel I have to put them in a box. What is Lisa saying? Don't forget to curb surf the day after. Right. Packing supplies. There you go. Right. Boxes and maybe some styrofoam. Hey, Craig, thanks for joining us. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Or, trash pick. We call it trash picking up in the Philadelphia area, Lisa, but Lisa calls it curb surfing. So basically, look for your neighbor through your neighbor's trash to see if there's any. Alexis, you messaged me on Facebook. What's going on here? Oh, you want to join, Alexis? Okay, I can do that. Let me just finish this conversation. So hi Donna. So I mean, you can get supplies. I know I watch Craigslist Hunter, and a lot of times he'll go to the various dumpsters behind the big shopping center stores, and he'll pick up styrofoam and stuff, and that's great. So let me send a link to Miss Alexis, and you guys can do me a favor and subscribe to Alexis's channel. She's trying to produce more content, and she's a very nice lady, and she's been helpful to me. So I'm going to send Alexis the link to the StreamYard, and then we will go from there. So just give me 1 second, guys, to send it to her. Okay. Coming shortly, Alexa. I'll send this right out to you. Okay. All right, Alexis, link set. Okay. So anyway, so that's a good tip, Lisa, about curb surfing or trash picking for shipping supplies. Time to pay attention to Google work and not chat. Okay, no problem. Styrofoam from boxes, from TV boxes. Yes, absolutely. Again, I don't really understand or know that much about collectibles. I know, in fact, Alexis that's coming on, she does a lot with collectible things and different China and things. And then just following the other resellers that sell those type of things, they say styrofoam is great to use for shipping. So absolutely. My only issue with styrofoam is it takes up a lot of area. So let me add Miss Alexis. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Adam. I can. How are you?
Let me just turn up. I didn't want my calculator. Why did my calculator come up? So, hold on 1 second. I'm just going to turn the volume down, and I like the other view better. There we go. And let me get off my banner so people can see who you are. All right. And we can make this bigger, I believe. I forget that. Oh, that's not right.
It's all right, Adam, honestly.
I don't know why. Casey told me, and I did that before. Oh, okay. All right, we can deal with it.
I just gotta pop out the chat.
Pardon me?
I just gotta pop out the chat.
Yeah, and again, I missed the. I don't know if I told you guys. I wouldn't say friendly, but the guys at StreamYard know who I am because I try to join their weekly town hall meeting on YouTube, and I haven't made it the last couple of weeks, but I keep asking them to add that where guests on the panel can contribute to the chat with actually having to go into to YouTube chat. So
yeah, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, like I put mine down the bottom, so if there's some issues or something, I can always how you minimize it and put it down on your tray, and I don't forget what that tray is called. So yeah. So anyway, I don't know if you heard earlier, I was telling people how I wasn't able to print my inventory because I had issues connecting my computer through the Ethernet, and then
right.
I don't know why, because I have a modem and router hooked up. I guess the default of the Ethernet cable knocks out the modem and knocks out the router, and it doesn't transmit a signal. I don't know. It's turned on. I can see the lights flashing.
I'm not a big techie type of person, but
I'm not either. Thank you for joining me. And again, I tell people all the time, my brain sometimes, if I forget to mention things, I'm going to forget. And again, with it being Christmas Eve and rolling into Christmas, I don't know if you guys were aware of it, but our friend Beth, Reseller Rowboat, her granddaughter has been in the hospital. I don't know. Again, I don't want to give bad information. I don't know if her granddaughter has been released yet, but she had joined us on the panel last Wednesday. Beth joined us. And then as this all went down on Thursday, they rushed her granddaughter to the hospital. And Beth had said what the diagnosis was, and I did a little research. And again, I might get the terminology incorrect, but it's basically some kind of virus that almost every infant gets between the age of, when they're born and 2 years old.
Yep. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
It's like a 2 or 3 letter, like RV virus or something. What not RV, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
RSV?
Pardon me?
RSV?
That might be it.
Yep. My friend was or is a respiratory therapist, so
it's respiratory issues involved in that's probably it then.
Yep.
Yeah, so she was really, really struggling. I mean, they had her on oxygen and they had to put her on a feeding tube, and so anyway, the long story of it is I want you to keep Beth in your thoughts, and if you're so inclined, your prayers. Also, my friend Tiffany, Eat Sleep Amazon, is a pretty private person. She's going through a lot of health issues, and she has a very important doctor's appointment the day after Christmas. So if you guys can keep her, and again, in your thoughts and prayers, keep Tiffany. I know quite a few of you know Tiffany, and super lady, and keep her in your thoughts and prayers, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and if there's anyone else that I'm not aware of, guys, you're welcome to bring that. I just figured with being, not that it has to be Christmas, but with being Christmas and all, and the Christmas spirit, just please try to and pray for me if you go to church for Christmas. Pray for me, because I'm going through some issues, and I told you guys I have a lot of health issues, and I'm trying to get I got approved for this drug, and it's not an experimental drug. It's been out for like 12 years. But my copay is over $400 with insurance. Is over $400 for 1 month, and I said, "There's no way I can afford this." Long story short, the doctor was able to put an application in, and the pharmaceutical company has a program where if you meet certain income requirements, they will give you basically the medicine for free. But the issue is, it has to be shipped to a physician or shipped to a pharmacy. They won't ship it directly to me, which I don't understand, but they refuse to do that. So anyway, so my physician who prescribed it refuses to accept it, which I don't understand, and kind of got me very annoyed. But anyway, so I'm going round and around with him, and round and around with the pharmaceutical company, round and around with the pharmacies. I just want to start this medicine because I'm not real functional right now. Has to do with digestion, but it just pretty much shuts everything down. I mean, because I don't have any energy because I'm not, getting nutrients from my food, and I'm in distress all the time because I can't, my body can't break down to process the food. So that's the short version. You're so tired of doctors, Wes. You know what's funny? And again, I know it's supposed to be reseller chat, but you guys know I share my personal information. It's rare for you to get a call from a doctor. So I've been seeing this doctor for about, 15 years. And again, I see this group of doctors that are all affiliated with the local teaching hospital. So anyway, so I'm having this issue with what I just explained to you guys. So he calls me up and he starts chewing me out. It's like, I tell myself, what the heck is this all about? Why is he giving me such a hard time? So finally, when I was able to get a word in edgewise, I said, look, doctor, I said, nothing for nothing, but I don't have $412 a month to pay for this medicine. I said, I appreciate you filling the application and sending it in, but it's not my fault that they want to do it this way. They set up the parameters. They want it shipped to the doctor's office. So we're not a pharmacy. Right. I said, I'm not saying your pharmacy. I said, but I don't know what the issue is. And I said, I just want to get the medicine. I said, you don't need to be, giving me a hard, I didn't say give me a hard time, but long story short, after he vented, he finally apologized. And basically he was just saying it's extra work for him. I feel like saying, well, I have had quite a few procedures done through your hospital, and we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars that your hospital has been paid between myself, the insurance company, and Medicare and whatever else. So I feel like saying, that's the least you could do for me, which I didn't. I bit my tongue.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. I mean, you worked in the health field for a while, right?
I did for about.
Yeah, you were. I know you.
20 years.
I know it's a different terminology. I call it a home health aide. You called it. What did you call it?
PCA. It's a personal care assistant.
PCA. Right. So I mean, you kind of know a little bit. You probably had to deal with doctors and nurses visiting your patients and different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then visiting your niece. I guess they probably visit her at home.
Well, it's more she would travel to the doctor's office out in Boston. So,
Okay. So what are you up to? Are you doing work today, or you're doing Christmassy stuff, or what?
just hanging out for now. I actually don't have much time, but I figured I'd pop
Oh, I
on
appreciate
and
it.
give you a co-host for a little while because I know what
Okay.
it's like being on there all by yourself. So,
Well, like I said, I couldn't read the chat, and of course that was the other issue. I was going to clean my glasses. I didn't have time to clean my glasses, so it's like I can't see. So I made the chat bigger. So yeah. So anyway, so that's the story. And again, if you would keep your thoughts and prayers of my our reselling friends, I would appreciate that. So I
so
guess sales are kind of slowed down a little bit with this week being Christmas week, and people want everything before Christmas. Has that been
yeah,
your experience?
no, I haven't had much sales, but I actually have to pop off now. So I'm sorry it was so quick, but
No
it was
problem.
good to see you, Adam.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you later. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Hey, I'm back by myself. Hey, Blind Whiskey. Thanks for joining us. So again, if anybody else was to just pop on and just discuss reselling or discuss whatever, that's fine. Having my first sip of coffee. Oh, Blind Whiskey, are you in Hawaii? Are you Hawaiian? That's my first sip of coffee. Hopefully it'll go down all right. I have mostly almond milk in here because that's the other issue with talking about my digestion. It's, dairy can be an issue. So you want your second pot of coffee, Lisa? Holy cow! Well, for a while there, I thought I could drink the coffee and it would give me energy. And then I did some research on what this condition I thought I have, and so basically, and what it really, again, I'm joking kind of. One of the symptoms of this disease or whatever it's called, condition, is that you lose weight. I said, oh, great, I have all the other symptoms, but I can't lose weight. It's like every other single symptom, yes, but I don't lose any weight. It's like, oh, shoot. But anyway, so the short version is I can't get any nutrients from the foods that I'm eating, so I don't have any energy. So, and I was drinking all this coffee, and then coffee was upsetting my stomach. So that was like, it was like a double-edged sword, so to speak. So what's going on, everybody, with their sales? I mean, my sales, like I said, for a while there, they were okay because people were buying things for trying to get them before Christmas. I sold like 3 or 4 new things. I sold a couple pair of very long tail. Hey, Brandy, thank you. You're doing shipping and had a few nice sales. Great. So I sold some new things, and which some of them I had for quite some time. And then I sold some jeans, some used jeans, and it's funny. I think I mentioned on the show when I had Casey on last week how I got this offer. In fact, I know I did because I was talking to him about the how to send a personalized offer back to when somebody gives you when you have something on best offer and somebody responds with their offer. And Casey had said, don't just counter offer. And for you people, I'm sure 99.9% of you know who Casey is, but Casey the Rockstar Flipper. So he said to send a personalized message. So, or like say it's, I don't know, let's just make up a name. Michael Jenkins sent me a best offer on a Philadelphia Eagles size 7.5 fitted hat. So you respond, thank you, Michael Jenkins, for your offer on my Philadelphia Eagles 7.5 hat. I really appreciate you taking the time to send the offer. And then basically you do what you want to do, whether you counter or you deny it. Always try to counter if you can. But so basically it says, make it personalized. And that seems to work very well. So anyway, long story short, this gentleman offered me, and I told people I had these Villanova Wildcat. It's a local college, and they won the national championship. So that's a big deal for a small school to win the NCAA basketball championship. So I think I had $2 in these hats. I bought them at one of the discounter stores. I just happened to get lucky. I wasn't able to find anything, and I went up to a clerk. And again, guys, I tell you all the time, and again, this is just my experience from just being in sales and then being unemployed for a short period of time, and learn. Everybody teaches to network. So I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as saying hello to people. So I was in a discounted store, and I couldn't find anything. And I was really getting frustrated. So finally, I said something to the clerk. I said, "Have you put out anything recently that's like a really good deal?" Hi, Lynn. He said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I got these hats over here for $2." I said, $2. So I bought. I think I bought 7 of them. And I had sold like one, and then I was stuck with 4. Not stuck. Well, I stuck with 4, I guess. So I originally had listed for like $17.99 with free shipping, and that was before they had the zone shipping with the first class. And before it was just first class. So if it was like 10 ounces, you paid $3.75, let's say. So now it's weight plus distance plus size. So if it's something like a box, like a hat box, it might be $3.75 to right outside Philadelphia, but it might be $4.75 or $5 to ship it to California or Texas. So anyway, so this guy made this offer. And I originally, like I said, I was $17.99 to $16.99 and $15.99 and $14.99. Now, mind you, this is free shipping, and of course, if there's anybody new in the chat, keep in mind that you have to pay commissions to PayPal and to eBay on your shipping as well. Because back in the day, people tried to work the system, and they would list something, say, for like $2.99, and then charge like $24.99 shipping. And then make all their money on the shipping. And then eBay said, no. You're going to pay us commission on the total sale price, including shipping. So basically, what I was saying was I had to pay for shipping for this gentleman. And I thought about it. And then what happened was when I went to the second page on my phone, he was offering to buy all 4. So I figured, okay, well, it normally would cost me like $4 something to ship it to Pennsylvania. So I figured, well, it's probably going to cost me $7.58 $8 now, and that's for 4 hats. So I figured it's $2 a hat as opposed to $4.50 a hat. So even though he's giving me $2 less, it's basically the same thing. So anyway, so that's what I did. So, but I was a little annoyed because you guys know if you sell on eBay, it's kind of difficult sometimes to get feedback. And I had showed you guys before, and again, this is a nice tip. I told you guys eventually I'm gonna start my own worst enemy again. I'm gonna start putting things in my description for the videos, like affiliate links where I make a small commission. This I would make like maybe a penny. These are basically a half a cent. So I don't know how they produce them for a half a cent, but I have the heart ones, and then I have the round ones that say thank you. So what I do is, and I know some resellers like Ty the Flippin' Hustler, he sends out personalized, thank you cards. But to me, that's the cost. I guess if I was selling stuff for $40, $50, $60, you could do that. But you can come on if you agree, Glenn. I've been glad to have you. So what I do is I just take those stickers, and I told you guys before, I use those bread bags from Walmart. So like if I had a hat, I would take the hat and I would stick it in my bread bag, which I have over here. If I don't knock everything over here. So I would take this and I would stick it in the, I'm going to reorganize that. But basically, stick it in the bag and then, slap a sticker on it, the thank you sticker. So it has helped with my feedback. So again, guys, they're only a half a cent. I forget what the exact amount was. I think, I don't know if it's 1,000 or 1,500, but again, they're a half a cent, maybe a little bit more with tax and everything. So like maybe it's 0.6 cents. So let's just say there's 1,000. So I think it's like $6 for like 1,000. So it's crazy. I mean, take advantage of that stuff. I mean, I don't really make any money on it, but again, I'm just trying to pass along my experiences, try to help you guys out as well. So that's something I do know that kind of works. But anyway, so getting back to my story was, I got this out. I sent it out express mail because it was to my advantage sending out express mail, because I could put it in the box and ship it out express mail, and it was $7 like 765 or 785 or something. You know, I used express mail, but I used the small box. I think it was 8x6x4. But anyway, so I never got feedback from the guys. Like, oh, you jerk! I gave you the deal. I gave you a deal, and then I gave you express shipping, which you probably thought, oh, he saved money on the shipping. But I gave him the express shipping. I mean, obviously, I figured he needed it for the holidays. I wasn't going to send it out, like not media mail, but parcel post. So you recognize those thank you stickers? Did you recommend those, Karen? I don't. I think I saw them. I don't know. Maybe I did see them on your show. I thought I saw them somewhere else. Somebody recommended those. But yeah, so they work well. So Glenn is going to join us. Swamp Picker is going to join us shortly. So let me just read what Miss Lisa has to say. Let me scroll up here. Yeah, I ship immediately, pack great, send them a thank you message, and tell them when it ships. Give them tracking numbers, send a thank you card, give them the feedback. I still don't get in return. Yeah, it's frustrating, Lisa. I mean, I don't know what more you can do. It's crazy. Sounds familiar, Lisa? It's I would tell you guys. I just try to do. I figure it's not going to kill me for a half a cent or 0.6 cents to slap that sticker on, and maybe I get 10% or 20% more feedback. So instead of maybe 1 out of 10, maybe I get 1.5 out of 10. So it's somewhat of an improvement. So I guess Glenn is going to join us shortly. So I do have my old inventory sheet, so I could probably get involved with those and do that inventory. I mentioned to you guys before, and again, I don't have the links, but and I don't even know if this is on sale, but this was a great deal. These are like $24 travel mugs, basically. It's Contigo is the brand, and it keeps beverages hot for like 7 hours, and it keeps them cold for like 15 or 20 hours. So I actually bought 3 of them. I have one upstairs, one downstairs, and I try to keep one on my car. And again, that's a reseller tip. Typically, it's cheaper to get a refill in a travel cup than to purchase. If you go to whatever your local convenience store, not always, but if you get the cup, so you get a 20-ounce cup of coffee. Let's just say it's $1.75. It might be $1.30. As a reseller and a bargain hunter, I'm always looking for deals. So that's what I did. You bought your stickers from Wish, okay? So they had something similar, at least on Wish. Now, Wish is that the Chinese company, and it takes like 3 or 4 weeks for them to ship it over. I know of Wish, but I've never used them. But so then you use the thank you stickers too. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go and spend 50 cents or 75 cents for a card and then handwrite it. I guess I probably should if I was selling something for $50, $60, $75. Use them on personal notes as well. Okay, definitely all sorts. And yes, okay. That's what I thought. It's funny how sometimes you order things like on eBay, and it'll look like it's like a US based seller. And then you order it, it says 3 weeks or 4 weeks shipping time. It's like, what the heck is this? And then you're reading the fine print that it's shipping it from China. It's like, okay. There's Miss Beth. Oh, Beth, can you give us an update? I asked everybody to pray and keep your granddaughter in their thoughts and prayers. Can you give us an update? Would it be all right for you? I don't have to come on. If you could just share in the chat what's going on with your granddaughter. So, guys, there's Beth I had mentioned earlier, Beth Reseller Rowboat. Hopefully she can give us an update how her granddaughter's doing. You do business cards, Wes? I have to get some business cards for my YouTube. I have them for my reselling, and I think what I'm going to do is she was moved to a regular room this morning. May go home on Christmas. Oh, that's super. Yeah, that's crazy. I was talking to Alexis was on earlier, Beth. I don't know if you saw, and Alexis had taken care of some. She was basically a home health aide, but I don't know if she calls it a different acronym. Or I guess I guess the licensing is different in some states. And her niece has a lot of medical issues. So she kind of, it's kind of sort of in the medical field. And then I had told her about it. She was familiar with it. But I had done some research and it said that pretty much every child gets that. I don't know if I guess it's considered a virus. Every infant, up to age 2 gets that virus. And it's a shame that your granddaughter had to go through such a heck of a terrible time with that. So Lisa's saying, what does it say? 319 for 500 orders, 11.7 receive, 11.19. Okay. Oh, you want me to send a link? I'll send a link right now, Glenn. I'll send it through Facebook. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked in the chat. I'll send it to you right now. Bear with me, guys. Got to send Glenn the link to the StreamYard. Okay. All right, Glenn, I said it should be on your Facebook Messenger. Okay, well, that's good news, Beth. I hope she does come home Christmas Day. That would be a tremendous present for you and your daughter and the family. And I had mentioned too, if you guys have Tiffany, again, she's pretty private, eats sleep Amazon, but she has a very important doctor's appointment on the day after Christmas. So if you guys can keep her in mind. Hello, Miss Maggie Doodle. I saw on your Facebook post, I guess you were done your caroling for the season. So I guess that's a relief. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was funny. I was watching I like Vegas, kind of like Vegas, but it's expensive for me to go to Vegas. And I watched some like travel vlogs and different things about Vegas. And it was funny. One of the vendors there was taking some kind of Chinese pay system. And the host said basically that's from the people from Alibaba, the wholesale company that ships from China, and they created their own pay system, I guess, kind of like PayPal or something or whatever. So they accepted that as a form of payment at this particular location. Yeah, Maggie. I don't know if you saw. She just posted recently earlier in the chat that hopefully she'll be home for Christmas. That she's in a regular room now, and they're praying. You had, Maggie. I saw that, and it's just, I mean, my health has been so messed up lately, and a lot of it has to do with my back, and I couldn't park and then walk and then stand, but maybe next year if I ever get started on this medicine that I'm trying to get, maybe I'll be feeling better, and if I'm still in Collinswood, Haddonfield's 2 towns over. A hop, skip, and a jump. Doesn't affect healthy, right? Yeah, I read where it's basically infants, up to the age of 2, and then they said almost every child gets this virus.
Hey guys,
Mr. Glenn.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Adam.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I can hear you okay. And you're at the shop?
Yeah, I'm at work. Like I said, I'm going to close a half a day, but I'll probably do some of my personal stuff after.
Oh, good. Well, it's good seeing you. Thanks for joining us.
You know what? Yeah, I hit a couple of shows this morning, just saying hello and all that.
Nice.
People.
So what have you been up to? You're still doing a lot of, I guess, because you have year-round garage sales and yard sales, right?
Yeah, there's probably with a couple last week. I didn't hit none last week because, like I said, due to work and all that. And
right.
If it's on the way to work, I'll bypass them, hitting a few, but it's out of the way. I didn't hit none. One of them was right down the street from me, and I missed it.
Oh, geez.
Like a estate sale and all that, but I missed it. It wasn't even advertised. It basically was on the side of the sign on the side of the road.
There's Miss Valerie joined us.
Hello,
Valerie. Every time I'm at, and again, I know this is bad for me. Don't kill the messenger. But every time I'm at like a fast food place, and I see somebody come in, from Grubhub or something, I always think of Valerie. And I usually strike up a conversation with the people because they're standing there waiting for the food like I am. It's like, right. How do you guys deal with this? You got to drive there and you wait 15 minutes to get like a $10 order, and then you got to go deliver it. It's like, holy cow, I don't know how they do it. But we're talking about Greg, Glenn. We were talking about Grubhub, and we're talking about Instacart before. I had Valerie on the show.
Some places I eaten before. I know there's one little restaurant I started eating at maybe about 6 or 8 months ago. It only had like 10 tables, but it's fairly good food. But the waiter people were in and out. The delivery people.
Right.
He could put a close sign on the door. Front is closed. We only deal with waiter. Because just the hour I was there, they probably had 10. I'd say between 5 and 10 waiter people coming in and out.
Oh, nice.
Delivering food.
Nice.
So a lot of restaurants can start booking on that probably, instead of having a big, 20 tables, have 5 tables or 10 tables because that kitchen's still busy making food,
I think I posted that in the Reselling Rhythms Facebook group about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I saw an article online about that, how these restaurants are opening up with really small,
right.
service areas, eating areas, and they're basically concentrating on their takeout.
Right. Or you hire extra, cook or something. Hey, all your job is
to handle those takeout orders. Right. That makes sense. Right. You got to do what you got to do.
Even Chick-fil-A, I usually at Chick-fil-A for, after work once a week. You're sitting there, there's probably 5 waiters sitting there, on and off.
Oh, really? I never go to Chick-fil-A. I mean, I know it's good and everything. I still haven't tried the Popeye sandwich.
Yeah, I haven't either, Well, so many of ours are in the hood. So, there's a couple of them that are kind of like turnover food. I've been in there before, know.
Well, I have one that's not too bad of an area near me.
Right.
I have, again, I tell people my digestion is all screwed up, so I'm figuring I better avoid that stuff until I feel a little bit better. Although I did got Chinese food yesterday, and I got like a dummy. I got the hot and sour soup. It wasn't real spicy, but still, that was a mistake.
The only different thing about the Popeye spicy one is just the sauce. It's not actual the sandwich, It's the meat,
The sauce is on the bun, right? It's not
on the bun. It's just a spicy sauce,
Right. It's not actually in like the batter or for the chicken.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was about to say Chick-fil-A's, they got a spicy sandwich and they got a regular, And you can't tell the difference in those,
I remember back in the day, my nephew, that's all he would eat for breakfast. My sister was spending like $12 in morning for breakfast. Like, holy cow. It's this kid to eat at home. It's like, I don't care if you have to give him a freaking juice box or something. And he was like an older. He was like 13, 14. Yeah, it's like, holy cow. I mean, well, that's less expensive. It's funny. I was telling you guys earlier, if you joined the show, I showed you that that electric battery operated razor, rechargeable razor that I got. And I'm going through Kohl's and I'm looking at the prices. Like now I'm in the Philadelphia area. So they had like Philadelphia Phillies shirts, and just plain it would just say Phillies and script on the front, or National League or something, and a red shirt, and they were $30 list price, and they had them on clearance for $15. It's like $15 for a T-shirt. What are you people crazy? And then I think they had some kind of coupon where you get 10% off. But still would be like $13.50 for a T-shirt. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to find my way. I keep behind me. I found like a couple good ones. I found a brand new one sealed, another Relco. And I'm using that. Yeah, I found a brand new. I could have sold it for $60, but who the heck?
Well, that was the thing I was thinking. I said I could probably flip this for like $60, but I'm thinking, I need it. Like I said, I think what happened was on the other one, the blades on the blades wear out, and then it just doesn't work properly.
Yeah. Well, the blades cost you about $30.
That's what I figured. And this was $20 all in. Right. Because they have a $20 rebate. They had it on a huge sale, and you get your $5. I don't know if you have Kohl's around you, but they had $5 in Kohl's cash. So when all said and done, it was like $21 after tax.
Yeah, I found out.
I figured the blades were probably $20 or $30.
Yeah, I think I'll pay like $5 for it sealed.
At a yard sale.
But I found one before that I kept for 2 or 3 years at a garage sale, at a church sale. It was all in a Ziploc bag, clean. I seen some of them that were filthy. You open the chamber and all that.
You don't know where that razor's been.
I used it for like a few years, and I found a couple more. My dad always said, hey, if you find one, bring one and keep one down here at work.
Right.
I got one down here at work, and like it's the one at home I constantly use. Then I found some regular like razors I like to use at least once a week, and they were the ones that they advertise on Facebook, and you see the TV shows and commercials and all that. And I found like
the Harry's.
Harry's or whatever. I guess it's the older
Yeah,
blade, the older
Harry's is the
handle,
one,
you know. But you know, I got probably 10 of those blades, and I got 10 of some like Magnum type blades and all that are fairly good.
Right.
So I got enough blades to last me 2 years, you know. And all that.
You got to do what you got to do, ladies. I'm sure. Again, I don't want to get into personal issues, but razor blades are expensive.
Right.
I know some ladies use razor blades for their the legs and things, but yeah, it's crazy. You know, I guess Gillette and Schick had the market for all those years, and they were just overcharging all those years.
Right.
Crazy.
That's why Harry's came out with them. They bought the company blade.
Oh
company.
yeah, they introduced it for like half the price, and they're still probably printing money when they do it. You know,
the deal is too, they can make money as long as they don't sponsor people. Gillette sponsors, you know, skating.
Oh yeah,
car races. So
exactly.
you got to go up on your prices when you start doing that stuff. Versus, hey, we just put money in our pocket. We don't worry about giving it to.
We pass along the consumer. I mean, that's a marketing employee. Yeah. Yeah. Well, isn't the Patriot Stadium? Isn't that Gillette Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're paying for that. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I don't have to pay for those darn Patriots. Well, I guess you're a Saints fan, huh?
Yeah, I watch it. I mean, the games whenever I get a chance, or listen to it. I'm not really hardcore,
You're not hardcore. Well, when I grew up, I was a big kid, so it's like, I guess from the time I was about 10, I started watching football.
Right.
And then when I was, I played, freshman football in high school and high school football. So I kind of understand it better than. I mean, I played baseball, Little League baseball, but I wasn't very good.
Right. I can watch it, but I don't understand all that stuff. I can see something obvious, but
well, that's like when they talk about like these defensive coverages and these receivers running these patterns. It's like, the heck did he just say? Cover two and this that. And it's like, the heck is that? Then I went like Google, like, what is this coverage? Well, I guess I'm more into it than you are, but it's like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
We did win the Heisman, and the LSU one did win that.
Oh, did he win the Heisman?
Yeah,
I knew he was one of the four finalists, right? One was.
I think after like 4 games, they were saying he basically has a shoe in, because his point, and when it got closer and closer to the end, it's like, they said, yeah, it's probably 99.9% chance he'll win it.
What does Diane say? Avoid eBay too on Christmas Day after Christmas. Had a guy be nasty about an item.
Yeah, I had to get an item out today, which I was surprised. Somebody eBay would have like a one day, instead of getting it out today, because a lot of places are closed on the 24th.
True.
Or half a day you get to the post office and it's closed. So you told me to get it out, and I did, and they were closed. So they should give you a grace day, grace day for
you would think. You would think. And that's the other thing I had mentioned in my previous show. eBay is running another 10% eBay bucks. I don't know if you guys all got that offer.
I'm not sure if I've seen it yet,
Right. So if you have anything you're looking to buy on eBay, whatever, hey, 10%.
Something, a flashlight or something. It's like, heck, it's $5, and the flashlight was like 6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you decided to use it on that.
Well, sometimes eBay is cheaper, sometimes it's not, just like anything else. And if I can get 10%, I get 2% from Rakuten, which we used to be called eBase. Now they got to make it difficult. I get to call it Rakuten. I could say eBase. I have trouble saying Rakuten. so I get 2% back on that. When I use that with the Chrome extension, and then you have the 10%. So it's 12% is 12%. What the heck,
Yeah.
So if you're buying it for $100, it covers your sales tax plus.
Yeah, I know somebody mentioned you showed later in the chat previous about after Christmas getting all that supplies on the side of the road.
Right.
And I mentioned it in an earlier show, and they said, "Hey, that's a great idea, Glenn." But
I think Lisa mentioned it. She called it Curbco. I mean, I call it trash picking, but the classy version is Curbco.
Now, hopefully, I'll find a lot of flat screen boxes, because you can put lawn chairs in those perfect. And lawn chairs make good money.
You ship lawn chairs, really?
Yeah, man. Those aluminum chairs with the strapping on it.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I got like probably 15 of them that are sitting there. But I sold a couple like on Facebook Marketplace, a set like with wood handles.
Well, I can see Facebook
Marketplace. $70.
Local, yeah.
Yeah, but they're still lightweight. So that's why I like getting a flat screen box, because it's like only like 3 inches narrow by whatever, even though it's still big.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them get, like I said, average $30. Even more if it's like got the wood handles or
30 plus shipping.
Yeah. or that like
What something like that costs to ship, and how do you ship it? What?
Just like eBay, whatever through eBay, or
What do you use? Use UPS, or can you ship it through USPS or
USPS probably. I'll find, whenever I get, like I said, I never actually sent one before. I sent some big boxes before, but it seemed like I did it like post office, on priority, not priority, just regular partial, because it's cheaper. Depends on the weight. It's kind of weird sometimes. You can have a big package that weighs a lot versus a little bit. And then, you feel like putting a brick in there. That way, you get a better discount. Now
you say you use Pirate Ship sometimes, right?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, I like it because, like you said, it's easier on my credit card. It's all a little different.
Well, that's the thing too. And again, I've talked about that before. And again, I'm not an expert by any means. It's just I've been doing this for like 3 years, and I got 30 plus years experience. I got a college degree. I'm not a dummy, so I try to learn. But like I said, with Pirate Ship, you connect it to a credit card. They don't take PayPal.
Oh, yeah, I do like $50 deals. I got Pirate Ship from my work and Pirate Ship from my personal. But when you do it on the regular credit card, I was getting like a whole page of these, charges and all that versus, doing a Pirate Ship and I got one charge, or two charges,
Right, but what I'm saying is you earn, airline miles or you earn cash back or whatever. Right. It's like
I don't really like doing that stuff because, like I said, being a business, you pay for it. My credit card rates are high because I pay for the points. When a person has a points card, I'm paying for it.
Well, that's the other thing that really annoys me. And again, we're not trying to solve world hunger here, but why the heck are interest rates so damn high on credit cards?
Right.
I mean, what are interest rates now? Right. Like, I don't even know what the Federal Reserve rate is, but
I'll pay
mortgages are like 4%.
Right.
You get a credit card, it's like 24%. It's like seriously, 24%.
Yeah, but I'm paying like for me to I stopped taking Discovery and American Express because, like I said, they charge you more than the Visa and MasterCard.
Right. Discovery charges more also, huh? Okay, I knew.
So they charge me. So when a person's going to tell me they're going to go on a trip, I feel like showing up and say, hey, I'm going with you. You're paying for it because I paid for it credit card. For you to get those free flights.
Discovery is as high as American Express?
Oh, yeah. Discovery and American Express. Most companies don't take them. If you ever notice, you go a lot of places, they don't take them. That's why. And we.
You don't have to share it if you don't want to. But I knew back in the day, Visa was MasterCard was around 2%.
I'm not sure 3 to 5 now. What place you go with and all that. I'm not sure exactly.
I guess I'm sure it has to do with your volume too. If you do more volume,
you can get more volume and all that. But like I said, American Express and all that. And what's kind of funny, they got American Express small Saturday shopping days.
Right.
Most of those small places don't even use American Express because they charge so much. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, Small Business Saturday. It's too expensive.
Yeah,
I hear you. Hey, if I had a business, if I didn't have to take it, I probably would.
I did a lot of mail order. That's why I used it and all that. And like I said, but we haven't used it in probably 5 years because, like you said, we're getting less and less, but we're still paying this. We still pay a monthly fee, for 2 or 3 people using it, and it's not worth it anymore. Just tell them, hey, Visa or MasterCard.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. That's like when I use this medical transport. The guy says, cash or, credit card, and the guy was nice, and he was the owner of the company. So I'm there like, well, I can pay the guy cash as long as I get a receipt. What do I care? On $70, what's it? 70 cents.
Right. Well, I still got people that come in my shop and buy $4 part, $3 part, and use a credit card. And you don't have no cash on you. Sometimes I feel like just giving it to them and say,
you need this more than I do.
And that receipt cost me 15 cents, 14 cents. It has my name and all that on it.
Is it so much per transaction plus a percent, or is it just a flat percentage?
I think a flat percentage, but it depends on if they got an airline card or something like that. It seemed like it. My mom knows more about it. She looks at that stuff more, but I know certain cards, sometimes they'll be, it's higher,
Right.
I guess, like you said, if you're a higher volume business, you might make a little bit better money, because I'm not.
True, but it's again, American Express is going to be higher, like you said.
Higher.
That's crazy. So, how your sales been?
Slow. Like I said, I got one bike.
Well, I can imagine this week's probably slow for everybody because some people that did all their Christmas shopping, and I mean, if you drive by a mall or something, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
People don't, they can't get it shipped in time for Christmas. Yeah. So, I mean, since probably Sunday, I mean, it's been insane everywhere you go.
You know, problem is I got to buy them. Probably buy stuff from garage sales and don't list it. Man, I've been having this for over a year and all that. Like I said,
I have stuff from 2 Christmas ago I bought.
right.
Well, I mean, like when they run these, you know, I guess like had the Black Friday and then some stores open on Thanksgiving Day. I bought some clothing. It's like, and then after I bought it, it's like, well, I'm not going to make that much money on it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not making any money if it's sitting here.
Oh yeah, that's my problem. Yeah, I listed probably 5 pair of shoes last week and sold it. You know, within 24 hours. Those Hoka shoes. You ever heard of those?
What are they called?
Hoka, Hoka.
No.
Tennis shoes. It's a high-end tennis shoe. I paid $1 for it and finally listed it.
High-end tennis shoe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they make high-end running shoes, and I sold it. I had it listed for $60. They came back with 40, and I went 55, and all that. And they shot back with 50, and I said I'll take it because I'm still making over $40. You know, I had it on Poshmark.
Poshmark.
And all that, you know, and all that. So
is that the thing with Poshmark? Everybody wants to make you offers. Nobody pays you full price.
I mean, it goes back and forth. You know.
Okay.
A lot of time I'll say no, and they still buy it. You know.
Okay. So a lot of times you'll just reject their offer and they'll pay you full price.
You reject it. You know.
Okay.
Or I'll put on there, hey, I just, you know, at least with eBay, you can comment back and say, hey, I just listed this. Check back in a week. If it's still here, you can buy it at that price, you know?
Well, that's what when I had Casey on, I was talking about that. I couldn't find where it was nested on the phone. And you know, I said, I don't have it on a lot of my items because I try to sell it a bare bottom when I try to list it as low as I can. And then obviously when I do best buy, a best offer, I make it a little bit higher, so I have a little bit of room to negotiate.
Yeah, kind
of.
of.
If I'm paying promotional rates, right. I'm paying commission, and then I'm taking best offers, it's like, you know, I'm not making any money.
Yeah, I got this flip flop from Goodwill on that. Only thing they're saying is it doesn't work, but there are like 4 or 5 of them on there now. And all of them say that it doesn't work, you know. But you know, when it's got $15, I'm gonna sell this for like $30.
Oh, that doesn't work? No.
The power's on and all that. You can listen to the radio, but it doesn't flip. And all the ones on eBay basically say the clock part doesn't work. You know, parts and repair.
They get $30 for them.
And all that. Some of them, one sold for like 30 and all that, and one sold for 15. You know. But you know, I'm gonna put 30 on mine there. You know, I'm just cleaning it up real good. I mean, most of them, the people had them on there, they had bad pictures. And I'm gonna plug that thing in and take a picture of it in the dark so they know it lights up and all that. Because somebody might be able to take it apart and, you know, fix it, you know, or know how to fix them, you know.
Yeah, Lisa says they sell very quickly. They sell right away usually.
Right. But I got a yellow one too, and the yellow ones are even sell more, you know. So
they're more.
I got it boxed up at home, but that, you know, I'm probably try to list today or tomorrow, and just put it up 30, you know, clean it real good and all that. But I was looking at all the other ones and I said, man, if they took better pictures, and these guys got 4,000 and 5,000 feedback, I said, man, for that much feedback, it seemed like they could take a better picture. You know, because a picture can sell an item.
I have to be careful with how I phrase this, but
right.
a lot of the bigger sellers, I think they're more concerned in just getting the item listed as quickly as possible. I
can understand that because I take, you know, certain like motorcycle stuff. It doesn't have to be a perfect picture,
right?
You know, like a front. I don't have one laying, like a sprocket or something like that.
Yeah, sprocket is a sprocket is a sprocket. Part number, yeah.
Having this clock, unless you got 1,000 of them on there, it can make a difference. You know, a good picture. You know?
What I'm saying is, I think it's wrong. But again, I kind of see their logic.
Right.
They're figuring, well, if I have, you know, if I can list something in, you know, 3 minutes between taking pictures and listing it, as opposed, I mean, I obsess with my pictures, so I'm not happy with the lighting and this, that, and the other, and I'll take 5, 6, 7 pictures, and then I'll delete pictures, and so it might take me 10, 15 minutes to do one listing. Well, these people, I think they do listings like 2, 3 minutes, and bang, 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 bang. And you look at their pictures, it's like, well, they took 10 pictures or 8 pictures, but they're, you know, 7 out of 8 are terrible. You know, it's like, but they do well because I guess because they probably the right things, they price it right, and
I'll take them on a gray carpet over there, and it's got good lighting. Sometimes I can get better pictures off of that than I can in my light box next door. So I just throw it on the floor, bike parts, you know, sprockets, boom, 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 put them on there, and all that.
Right.
Like something like that clock, or especially clothing, you got to have good photos, but you know, but like that clock, you know, make sure there's good lighting and all that, and hey, they'll see all the dirty marks on it and all that. You can have a hole in it as long as you got a good picture, they can see it. You know.
Right. Did you see Donna's post? He says, "Do a small video of the radio and post it with the description." I know Lonnie had.
Yeah, Lonnie has a video. I mean, on
I
how
was saying, if you're not aware, Lonnie had a video on how to do that.
Yeah, all that. So I figure, like, especially stereo equipment and all that, or
Sure, the show it
you can hear
lighting
it and all
up,
that,
and showing it, right?
Gus sold a transistor radio overseas. And the guy emailed me. He paid full price, but can you take it out? Because it was sealed from the early 70s. Hey,
Right.
if it works, I'll buy it now. I'm going, should I or shouldn't I? So,
Yeah, then you take it out of the box. If it doesn't buy it, you're screwed, right?
But
Now it's not new, old new in box.
So I opened it up and all that. I said, I went outside because, like I said, this building and all that, and went through the stations and, pretty much got it all. It was all clear, good sound and all that. Emailed him back. Hey, I unwrapped it and all that, put a battery in it. It sounds good and all that. I told him what it sounded like. He bought it within 30 minutes, and he paid like $70 for it.
Now, do you have the I forget what it's called, international shipping with
he did the GSP deal.
Okay, but have you tried that with pirate ship? Have you tried?
I heard about it. Lonnie talked about it, and a couple others.
Several people talked about it. And I don't really do a lot of volume, but I should probably have. But you have, guys, if you're not aware of it with pirate ship, you have to request that.
All right.
It's not part of the normal package.
Yeah.
But
the only thing is, like with GSP, I got a lot of one kind of stuff. Even my dirt bike parts, they don't make anymore. So if it gets lost or broke, then I could say GSP can pay for it. But if it gets lost or broke on my dime, I'm gonna be out a lot of money. And it's like, hey, I can't send you another one. They don't make them anymore.
Right.
All right. I'm trying to see if I have something. Man, this is something like simple like this, like plastic like this. Radiator fairings. I'm trying to get it. They don't make this anymore. And all that,
Okay,
so like 1983, so
from 1983,
and all that. So they don't make that stuff anymore. So I'm selling it at a decent price,
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's not made anymore, you might as well, right?
Oh yeah, and that's what I got to look at. Some stuff, if it's still being made or you can still buy it, I'll just sell it for regular price, But if it's something like, hey, I'm the only one in it, probably around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I use like Facebook Marketplace for that, too. Or not Facebook Marketplace, a lot of Facebook groups. I'll get on a Pacific group like bike. I deal with KTM, where they got older vintage groups for like this is the big bore bikes and all that, and a person might be in there saying, "Hey, I'm looking for this." Well, I'll take a picture of me holding it and send it, on Facebook and say, "Hey, I got one." And 2 weeks later, I'm sending it to the UK.
Oh really?
Then he's putting it. As soon as he got it, he sent a picture. Put a picture up. Hey, I just got this.
And he's selling it over there.
Yeah. Or he's not selling. He's putting it on his bike because, like I said, he can't find them. I send a lot of stuff to Australia, UK.
Oh really? And that you did it all through the global shipping program.
Global shipping. I got one guy in the UK. I sold a bunch of rounds and all that, and I did it on regular international.
Right.
And if you ever listen to Don, the bargain hunter, Don.
I know of him. I
the professor guy, Don. I know of him. But he talked about he basically like Australia, UK. It's like 4 countries, maybe Canada, and I can't think of the other one. But he'll send it just international because he trusts those countries enough.
Right, that's what I was going to say to you. I mean, I hear good things typically about Australia and some of those other countries.
So I'm thinking
if you're shipping to Russia or to one of the smaller countries, but I mean, like I said, Australia, New Zealand, the UK.
And it costs a lot of money. If you ever look at the bill, what it costs, I sent like a 2-ounce decal, in a 8x9 envelope. It's a large envelope, and it cost them an extra $20 just for like a little decal. But like, they don't make that decal anymore either, So you might have been glad to pay for it, But if it was during international, it would have been maybe $5 to send it, But
yeah, I wonder. Again, I guess you can compare that. Good afternoon, Bluegrass Picker. Yeah, I wonder what pirate ship.
Hey, Derek. Well, all the duties and taxes over there are so high. One time a couple of people, emailed me, hey, can you drop the price? And I think if it's under like $50 or something like that, it might drop the duties, whatever. Go ahead, like at 59. Hey, can you sell it at that and just kind of make my shipping more expensive for handling? And I did that, and he bought it instantly, and all that. So
yeah, I don't understand how the duty works, but
I need to look into how it actually works because, like I said, it's much stuff I sell over there.
Yeah, I guess exactly. That would probably pay you to research it.
But it's just easier. to put it in an envelope and boom, it goes to Kentucky. And I don't have to worry about filling out any, custom forms and some that. But like I said, the guy in Australia, I sent stuff to the Rams. That was over $1,000 in parts he got.
But again, I'm just spitballing. But I wonder if you use that pirate ship, that shipping program, if it was 50% cheaper for the customer. I wonder if I don't know if that would increase your volume or not. It probably wouldn't. But
I'm gonna step away for a second. I got somebody at my door.
Sure, no problem. So what's going on, everyone? I guess you're all getting ready for the holidays. It's a little afternoon here on the East Coast. Again, I get it. Eventually, I guess I'll disconnect my my broadband again, and I'll prep my inventory, and I'll do my inventory this afternoon. But I really enjoy this kind of conversation, just talking about reselling, and it's funny, like the tips and then knowledge you pick up just with general reselling conversation. Like Glenn and I were talking about, the reselling with the shipping, how Pirate Ship has that special. And I know, Donna, you do a lot with Pirate Ship. Would you say it's dirt cheap, plus there's no custom forms to fill out? So if there's customs involved, Donna, who handles the customs then if you don't fill out the form? Wes is making crab cakes. Good for you, Wes. So, Donna, if there's customs, how does that work then? If you don't fill out the forms? Yeah, they may close early today. You're right, Michelle. Yeah, Wes, it was funny. Long story short, I tell you guys I share my personal information. Basically, I'm just down on my sister, and she's not talking to me. So, back in the day, hey PGH Picks, good, thanks for joining us, buddy. So my mother's side of the family was Polish, or is, or was, or is, still is, I guess. Technically, they're all gone, except for me and my sister. But anyway, we used to doing Christmas Eve. We wouldn't eat meat, so we would eat seafood, and we would have Polish like Polish raviolis, which are called pierogies. So that was our Christmas Eve dinner. We would have that. We would have beet soup, which is called borscht, or in Russian they call it borscht. And we would have that, and then on Christmas Day we would have like the ham, like the traditional, more of an American kind of Christmas dinner. But I missed that, and we used to I used to love having crab cakes, and yeah, I mean it's super expensive, and it's funny because with the borscht, the Polish beet soup, the thing was to get the Polish dried mushrooms. And they would be super, super, super expensive. And then my uncle would make it, and my grandmother, when she was alive, would always say to my uncle, "Did you get the Polish dried mushrooms? Get the Polish dried mushrooms?" And he said, "Oh yeah, Daddy, I got the Polish dried mushrooms." So after a while, he used to get the porcini mushrooms, which it's in this beet broth. It's purple. You can't even see what it is, and then the porcinis taste a lot like the Polish dried mushrooms. So that's what he would do. You love pierogies, yeah. And I'm not talking to Mrs. T ones. I'm talking like the homemade kind of ones, We have a couple Polish places around here. It's funny because I told you guys earlier how I got that razor, that rechargeable razor, and the way I went back home, I drove by the Polish delicatessen, and there was line out the door because obviously people don't want to go there on Christmas Eve, and they probably close early on Christmas Eve. So everybody's there picking up all their Polish food on the day before Christmas Eve. So there was line out the door. What's $40 a pound, Maryland? You're a Maryland boy. You got to have crab cakes, but so expensive to get here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I mean places like Wegmans has super duper fresh seafood, but oh my word, it's super expensive.
Yeah. We got a seafood restaurant lobby like 3 miles from this place, or 2 miles. It's right next to our post office. Go there, pass there every day. Actually ate there yesterday, but that parking lot right now is probably they got cops out there that direct traffic every day. Probably with Christmas, it's, especially during certain holidays, Easter, Christmas, they sell a lot of crawfish, and they turn those pots into frying pots for fried turkeys, and they'll probably sell 2,000 turkeys. 2,000 turkeys
at
least. The other restaurants, I'm doing the same thing. A lot of these crawfish places, they got those giant, they got like the little hoist deals. I mean, they're probably a couple hundred gallons. You know,
I never got crawfish. I mean,
right?
especially at the Chinese buffets, I get them. They're like maybe an inch and a half long.
Yeah, you have to come down here.
It's the head.
You know, you have to come down here. You know, I eat them like once or twice in my life, but I'm not really into them. But
I mean, there's Chinese buffet up here, and I told Maggie I think about it before because she's in Pennsylvania, but she's not too far from this place. But like for lunch, it's $8 plus tax plus tip. It's like $10, right. And they have you-peel shrimp. They have sushi. They have all kind of meats and Chinese food, and it's like, where am I gonna get a meal like that with shrimp and sushi for $10 with tax, tip, and everything? So now at dinner time, it's $12 plus tax and tip. So then I'll have like oysters and clams and crab, and you know, but it's like, and the crawfish. But every time I get the crawfish, it's like that's ridiculous. You know, you rip off the head, and it's like I got like this much of the meat.
People suck the heads too, but that's nasty there. But you got people
suck the heads too, right? You get the juice out of it.
You hardcore eaters do, but I don't. You know,
no, I don't.
You know, just the tail part and all that with the meat. You know,
Dwayne's calling them mud bugs.
Yeah. Crawdaddies, crayfish. You know, it's all kind of different terminology.
Right.
And down here, I mean, you can go outside the ditch and get them. You know, like
are they in the ditches?
Yeah, the big ditches. Yeah, I used to get them in the canals. I wouldn't eat them, but you know, you'd catch them as a little kid and all that. But I mean, I went with friends before when I was a kid, and you had crawfish nets and all that, and you had a long like pole sticking in the water, and you put a little bait on it, and come back a couple minutes later, pick it up, and it'd be like 5 or 6 of them on there.
You 10 traps. You bait it.
Yeah, you put like it's a little square net with like a triangle deal.
Okay.
Lay the net out in the water and all that, and put a hot dog wiener or something type of meat or bait on there and all that, and they would just attract them and they would stay on the net. So you'd do it a couple of times, and all that, and you might have 5 of them on there, you might have 10 on there,
Lynn says the Mississippi mud bugs. Yeah, I don't get it, Lynn, and especially Asian people, they love crawfish. Oh my word, they love the crawfish.
So that's a big problem.
They have the technique just perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, how the heck did you get that meat out of there? It's like every time I do
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to,
I mean, they'll do like 50 of them, and they'll be meticulous, and it's like,
right.
I can't get anything out of this darn thing.
You get a 5-year-old, that's probably more advanced than what I can do it.
Exactly. Because they probably learned how to do it since they were like 3 years old.
Yeah. They're doing it when they're 3 years old. But
exactly.
But down here, a lot of your rice fields, they got different seasons. They'll flood the fields and pick crawfish in them. And when it's like crawfish season, it's over, plant rice.
Oh, so they grow them like they.
Yeah, if you're a rice farmer, you can during the off season you can do crawfish.
I had no idea they did that.
Yeah, and they probably do it up north. I bet.
Like they do, like with like shrimp or fish. They harvest them. Yeah.
Well, like you said, crawfish farms usually it might be only about 2 feet of water or 1.5 feet of water, and they got these flat boats and they go out there, getting picking up the traps. But I mean, it's like driving down the street and see a giant cornfield. Well, this crawfish, and there's these little small levees around them. They got them in sections and all that. But you usually see somebody on a little small bateau out there or like a flat skiff. Taking them out, that's big time money down here,
Oh,
you got wild stuff, which is part of the chaffalai, wild crawfish. And sometimes, certain restaurants will say, hey, these are wild crawfish.
Right. Like, I mean, I would rather get like, Alaskan salmon, wild caught than farm raised. I mean, because they say, especially when you get some of these fish from like these foreign countries,
right,
that are grown like on these fields, that the pesticides leach into the water.
Yeah. See, down here, that's a big problem. A lot on the menus, they more or less say, hey, it has to state it's a Louisiana product.
Right.
Like fish and all that kind of stuff. Or if it's, if it's Chinese, because a lot of people would say, oh, I'm not eating that, No,
I don't blame them. I mean, there's enough pesticides and chemicals in your foods they eat,
Right. Well, like this place, go down there, you can get it live too, I mean, you could actually get in a net, whatever, you probably do it yourself. Say, hey, I want this, catfish fillet. They got a rack, put it on here, peel it, fillet it, wrap it up for you, or you can go to the other end of the restaurant or near the deli and buy it fried.
Oh, nice. We have a neat place in the city, and there's a we call it the well, you have to, yeah, I think you take the speed. We have like an overground train, and then we have like an underground like a subway. I think you could just take the overground one, and then it goes when it goes underneath the water. It goes underneath it goes over the bridge,
Right.
and then it goes underground in Philadelphia. So there's this neat market in the city. They have all these different various types of cuisines, and it's really neat. I mean, they'll have like Amish food there. They'll have like Jewish food, like a Jewish delicatessen. Really neat stuff in this place called Reading Terminal Market. So that's your travel tip. If you're ever in Philadelphia, check out the Reading Terminal Market. So anyway, so I'm thinking when my back feels a little bit better, I think I'm gonna have to go over there and just walk around and get myself, something to eat or something. It's a neat place because I only go there like once every couple of years, but it's a neat place to walk around. Yeah, right. Right. The Indonesian crab meat, right, Wes? Yeah. That doesn't taste like the Maryland blue crawl crab meat. Exactly. Now, somebody told me, Wes, again, because you're a Maryland boy, supposedly the claw meat has more flavor than the what do you call it? The
tail or body.
The body, right?
I always heard like the claw meat's where it's at. I guess depending on the size.
Oh, Maggie used to go to Reading Terminal Market. Well, I guess you used to work in the city, Maggie. Okay. Yeah, they said the claw meat. I guess it's the little claws. I suppose they have more flavor. I don't know. I have a can of crab meat in my refrigerator, like my mini fridge upstairs.
Yeah, I like crawfish. I mean, you open the claws and on that, and you might have like a speck of meat. Unless it's really big pinchers. Like a really big ones.
Beth is actually working for this working hangout. She got her photos done. Good job, Beth. A lump back fin, right. That's right. Confused, but supposedly the claw meat is more flavor. I don't know. Depends what you want to use it for, right? Oh, you work at City Hall, Maggie? Okay. Yeah, I never was involved in the public service. I don't know if I can handle that. You like the Reading Terminal Market too, Philly Picker? A couple times a week. Cool. Yeah, I want to try that. Like I said, I've had their deli food's really good there. If it's Katz's, whatever the one that's there, it's really good. The ones in South Jersey aren't all that great, and the ones that are halfway decent are super pricey. So I'd rather go over there and get myself a nice, Reuben or whatever over there. It's 37, Lynn. It's 50 here.
All right. It
50
was like
is funny.
64 this morning or 56, but it's supposed to be like 70.
I'm not complaining. I don't have to shovel snow.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that down here.
50 and sunny on Christmas Eve. It's nice for families too, especially like with children. So if they want to go to church or something, they can go like the evening masses, and it's not too nasty out. It's not like you have to pack them up and wrap them up in 4 different coats, and feels like 65. We're talking about age or temperature.
We're talking about temperature right now.
I don't know, Wes, but some days I feel like I'm 85. It's like, oh, I was telling somebody the other day, I get out of the car, and I used to feel bad when I had the placard, parking placard.
Right. I
used to think that people were staring at me. And so now I get out of the car, and they're thinking, oh, poor guy, he can barely get out of the car. And they see me get out of the car and walking through the parking lot. It's my back and my Achilles. And it's like I'm hobbling around. It's like, oh, I guess that guy probably does need that sticker.
Right.
Oh God. Oh, Craig wants to know where here is. Well, Wes, are you still in Maryland, or you just grew up in Maryland? Are you a Maryland girl too, Brandy? Cool. Oh, Lisa, rubbing it in, 65. That's cool for you guys, 65. That's a cold wave for Florida, 65. Yeah, guys, so I forgot to stay on until about 1 o'clock, another half an hour. And then I'll have to disconnect my computer and get my print out my inventory sheets and I'll do that inventory. It was funny, guys. That just I'm making chit chat here, but are you guys old enough to remember this? In fact, they're making a replay of it. Can you see it?
Yeah, I've been seeing the commercials on YouTube.
This is the original CD, the movie soundtrack. I was going through my stupid CD player in my car is that now. That's another story. According to it's like $3,000 worth of work. It's a 2005 Honda Pilot. When I was in sales, outside sales, I used to go through cars like every 4 or 5 years because I would put on like 30,000 miles a year.
Right.
So I would get like every 4 or 5 years, I'd have to get a new car. So it's a 2005 because when I stopped working, I got laid off of that job. I was working like local jobs and in retail, and it'd be like 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever each way. So I wasn't put a lot of miles, but the wear parts still wear out,
Right.
So now it's like, oh my God, this is broken, that's broken, the seat's broken, the CD player's broken. Not that I'm concerned about the CD player, but so I was going through my CDs. I was going to load some new CDs in, and of course, then the CD player breaks, and I found that Top Gun CD. But I wonder, have you heard if Tom Cruise is going to be in that? Yeah,
the commercial. Yeah, the new one. He's in there. He's like the teacher now.
Okay, cool.
The flight school teacher.
34 in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's chilly. Oof.
But if you get on YouTube, I'm assuming everybody has that. You can see the highlight reels of the upcoming movie. I don't think it's coming out until 2020, whatever. Maybe next month.
2020 or 2020. Okay.
I think next month maybe. It seemed like it said 2020. I'm not 100%.
Well, the Star Wars movie came out like a week or two ago, right?
2 days ago, I think.
Oh, it's just 2 days. Okay.
A few days ago, because they had a deal on the radio yesterday. The guys, and they did a 2-hour show on it, whatever, on Star Wars. And said, if you don't want to hear what happens, don't listen to our show. And they had a lot of the radio executives and all that saw it when they were like 10 years old, that are, I guess, in charge of the radio station on there, that saw the movie and all that, saying what they liked and didn't like and all that. I never really watched any of the other ones full through. I've seen bits and pieces. The first 3 I saw, I was like, 9 years old or 10 years old, 15 years old, early 70s, late 70s, and mid 80s when the first 3 came out. So I never really watched any of the others, just bits and pieces. So, but they said this last one is more about, the first 3, closer to the first 3, as far as certain things, from what I understand.
Michelle's entertaining in the chat. The struggle is real. I hear you, Michelle.
I see where Philly Picker, he went to it, with his kids.
Oh, you went to see Star Wars? Cool.
Yeah.
How was it, Philly Picker? Did you enjoy it? It was great. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably get into, because something like that you really have to see in the theater. You want to see it with surround sound and all the visual effects and stuff. I mean, most of those movies I just wait till they come out. You run them online or whatever. But something like that I want to see in the theater.
Yeah, I'm very seldom go to a movie, but the one I want to go see is Ford and Ferrari.
That looks good. That looks interesting.
I want to go see that one. My neighbor saw it and all that. And he knows more about it than the movie.
That's out already? Okay.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple of weeks.
Okay. PJ's picks his Top Gun is being released June 26th of 2020.
Wow, so it is going to be.
Now that's odd.
Yeah.
That's my mother and my sister's birthday, June 26th.
Well, that's mid-year almost, so that's still.
Yeah. You saw that, Michelle? Ford vs. Ferrari?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, my neighbor read all the books and all that. So when he watched the movie, he said, yeah, that happened, that didn't happen. That's, been stretched a little
bit.
Yeah,
they take, what they call it, poetic license when you make these things.
But it's still a lot of, he said it's still a good movie and it's still, pretty much spot on a lot of stuff and all that.
I haven't either, Wes, but I mean, I think I've only seen like 2 Star Wars. What's there, about 9 or 10 of them now?
Right. I think this was number 9, maybe.
Okay.
I think.
I did buy they had some kind of deal. I told you guys earlier how I watched these different buying websites as far as, trying to get deals for OA or RA or, for my personal use. And I bought a 10 movie Star Trek package. It was like $40 or $35 for 10 movies, Blu-ray. So we're going to get 10 movies for $350 a movie. Blu-ray. So I mean, I'm not really a Trekkie, but I mean, I enjoy it. So You know, one day when there's, and I don't have cable, so one day when there's nothing on TV, I'll just pop that on.
Yeah, I got rid of cable.
Good morning, cherry picker, or actually it's afternoon here, but hello. It's almost 12:30 here. It's lunchtime.
Well, Adam, I'm gonna take off. I need to get back to work.
Thank you, sir. Like I said, I'm going to run for about another 20 minutes.
Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Than's for joining. Thanks.
Okay,
Appreciate it again. Merry Christmas. Thanks. Yeah, Michelle, I was looking that up the other night. I couldn't remember. There's a show on Amazon that has to do with space exploration, and apparently that's part of the Disney. You have that Disney package. I know that's included with Verizon cell phones. You get the Disney package. I don't have Verizon. I have baby AT&T, which is Cricket. But you enjoyed that, Michelle? Cool. Yeah, it looks good from the. I wish there was a way you could get that for like I don't know, $5 or something. I guess you could probably subscribe and towards when they're all released and just binge watch it, and maybe cancel it after a month or so. So Beth, well, I guess you'll hear later today about your granddaughter if she's going to be released from the hospital. You like it too? Well, yeah. Well, Beth, you like those kind of space adventure kind of things. Again, if anybody wants to join me, I'll be on for about another 25 minutes. If you want to pop into the chat, I can send you the link. Most of you are probably my Facebook friends. If not, I can put the link right in the chat. And then when you join me, I'll just delete it out of the chat. It was very well done. It's better than Star Wars. No kidding. Okay. But that's on the Disney channel, the Disney whatever that's called, network. So maybe, like I said, maybe I'll wait till they produce them all, and then I'll just buy it for a month, and then I'll just cancel it after a month, and try to binge watch it. So what everyone's up to as far as their reson, they're just editing, listening. Beth said she was taking some pictures. Like I said, I wanted to redo that inventory and then do some straightening up. I bought it. I think I told you guys I bought a shredder, and I let the stuff get out of hand. I just have papers that have to be shredded everywhere. So I'm just going to. That was my goal today, is get that inventory done, and shred all this stuff. I don't think I have any expiring listings. I've been trying to do that. If my listings are expiring that day, I end them early, and then I go in and edit them. Or if I don't edit them, I'll just sell similar. Because this good till cancel is killing my metrics. Basically, the items become stale listings. So if they're up there 3, 4, 5 months, and they don't get a lot of views and it doesn't sell, then eBay considers it as kind of like a unsaleable product, and they bury you in the listing. So there's Disney Plus, Michelle. Yeah. I don't know why. Let's see. And that's easier to do that. It's funny, guys. If you ever use StreamYard, when you highlight somebody's comment, the only way to remove it is to find it in the scroll of the comments. And sometimes it's so far back that StreamYard removes it. You can't find it. So I figured, well, maybe there's a workaround if I put a banner up. So that's what I did. I put a banner up. StreamYard says these banners. So I put the banner up. That way I didn't have to find Michelle's comment to figure out where it was and to remove it. So, yeah. So, again, guys, if anybody wants to join me, you're downsizing your personal cookbook collection. So you're listing today? Okay. The cookbooks sell pretty well. I heard they sell pretty well, Diane. Vacuum, broke down boxes, put leaves on the table, bought out extra chairs, bought in firewood. Oh, geez, Wes, you're an overachiever. You do it every 3 months, Donna? Okay. Yeah, I think, and again, I don't have a lot of listings right now, but I think, again, I've been saying this for a year now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to notate all I probably have another 20 pair of women's jeans to list, maybe 25. So I'm going to notate that in the special SKU, the hidden SKU, that they're new listings. I'll put the date in basically, and then and I always put the SKU, this location number in that SKU as well. So I have it in the description. I put it in the description, and I also put it in the special SKU. So it makes it easier for me to find it if something sells or I'm doing inventory, whatever. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to end up probably donating them to local charities. But they're mostly small sizes. I was thinking like a homeless shelter, but they're probably no. It is a working hangout, but I get sidetracked. Like I said, if I had that inventory, I could have done my inventory while I was talking. Just check the chat periodically, but I couldn't print that inventory up. So I figure that's what I'll do. I'll print that inventory up, then I'll probably take a break, just get out of here, and hopefully there's still stuff open today, and just get a bite to eat, and then come back and I'll start shredding stuff, and I'll have a sense of accomplishment if I can shred about half of this stuff. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to work on my boxes. I told you guys I have all these boxes that have to be broken down. I order all this stuff, from wherever, Amazon or whatever, and then I don't break down the boxes, and then it just becomes crazy. And I have like stuff like eBay supply boxes that I have to pick it up and move them down the basement and rearrange my basement a little bit, get them out of my living area, and then break down all these other boxes and put them in like bigger boxes, and then with my air pillows and all that kind of stuff. So that is my goal. So again, if there's anybody who wants to join me for the last 15 or 20 minutes, you're more than welcome. I can put the link in the chat, or I can send it to your Facebook Messenger. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share. You're heading out a little bit, heading to cemetery. I did that yesterday, actually, Philly Picker. My parents and my grandparents on my mother's side are buried up in like the Belmar area in New Jersey. There's a diocese cemetery. So I was a little morbid yesterday. I was telling a friend of mine, I was talking to her on the phone, and I said, I got a place to be buried because I'm going to get cremated when I die. I'm going to be buried right over above my parents. Because my sister's not talking to me. She's a royal pain in the butt. But anyway, so if she ends up being the executress of my will, I was afraid she was going to take my ashes and dump them on the in the river somewhere. so I'm going to be cremated and put in some kind of urn and then buried above my parents. So I did. I went out and I visited my parents and my grandparents' grave yesterday. This time of year is hard. Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't have any family now. It's just my sister. Long story short, and this was really hurtful to me. I found out in a roundabout way that my 25-year-old nephew had died. My sister never told me, so I felt really bad. They had moved actually. Last Christmas, I went and dropped off my. I always gave him a gift card, so I pull up to their house, and like I said, my sister is not talking to me, so I figured, well, I shouldn't penalize my nephew for that. So I pull up to the house, and it looks, holy crap, this house looks like it's abandoned. What the heck is going on? So I said, the neighbor comes out next door. I said, what's going on? Did they move? Okay, they moved in July. I said, son of a gun. I said, I had no idea. So they said, the next door neighbor was still friendly with my sister. So I gave her I put it in her mailbox with a little note if she could give it to my nephew. So then I was told you guys I'm thinking about moving. Well, not thinking. I'm definitely going to have to move to Delaware. Thank you, Michelle. So I'm doing research, and I found out where my sister had moved to, and it's like, let me just check that. I'm curious about this property and have a look at it again. So I type in her name, and my nephew's obituary comes up. It's like, holy cow, what's this all about? And he was only 25. He had started a new job like 3 or 4 months ago, and as an electrician's helper or something, and he was promoted or something to, I guess it was apprentice, and he was electrician's helper. So he was complaining about his job a little bit. I mean, I follow him on Facebook. He didn't really put much on Facebook. So it's like, and I read the obituary, and it's like, holy crap. And I felt bad because, long story short, my sister is a school teacher, and the father of my nephew was one of the parents of one of the children she had. So she had said something to me, I was thinking about, the dating this guy who's been asking me. I said, I don't think that's a very good idea. So anyway, she never listened to her big brother. So they ended up dating. They ended up moving together and in together. And then she got pregnant. She had, my nephew. And then she basically told this guy, either marry me or get out. And he says, well, I'm not getting married. I had a bad first marriage. So anyway, long story short, I would have liked to at least been there and given him my condolences. And he had 2 half sisters, giving them my condolences. And I guess for whatever reason, my sister's upset with me about something that she won't tell me. But at least I would have gone up to her and said, I'm very sorry for your loss. And I would have walked away. But that was hurtful. So it is what it is. So it's tough this time of year. And you think about family, and Thanksgiving was even tougher. Because to me, Thanksgiving was more of a family kind of holiday. I mean, Christmas was too, but it was, Thanksgiving is like, what do you give thanks for? And I'm thinking to myself, what do I give thanks for these days? Well, I have a roof over my head and I'm alive. So it's like, okay. But no, I mean, you think about what are you thankful for in Thanksgiving. It's like, well, I don't really have any family anymore. It's like, I don't know what that's all about. But yeah. So that's the story with that. So so that's my plan. I'm going to do the like I said, when I disconnect everything, and I typically work upstairs. But I do my broadcast down here in the dining room area. It's easier. Put the link in the chat. Sure, Michelle. There it is. Let me put it on Face and the YouTube too. It should work fine. Did it show up in the let's see if it showed up. Yeah, it showed up. It showed up in YouTube. Okay. Yeah, because guys, I know if you use StreamYard or you haven't used StreamYard, you're probably not familiar. StreamYard has a chat. Thank you. Praying for me. I appreciate it. And I tell people, pray for my health too. So I was telling people I'm supposed to start this digestive enzyme, and it's $400 some a month for this prescription, my copay. And I was approved for this plan because I basically just have. I really don't make money on eBay. I mean, I make a little bit of money, but I mean, I spend way more than I make. I mean, technically, if I factor in eBay Open and all that, I'm running at a loss. Because that's a couple $1,000s, and then you have your cost of goods, and you have your eBay fees, and this, that, and the other, and because of my health, thanks, Beth. Because of my health, I really haven't been listing things, and again, it's like the third time I mentioned this, but with eBay, it's list or perish. If you're not listing things, consistently, it affects your sales ranking. So, but Michelle,
hello.
Oh my word!
What?
You got to mute your chat.
I know. I gotta find my
Michelle,
Trying to find my.
oh
Hi.
You got to mute your chat.
I know. I gotta find my. Where's the remote?
Michelle,
Hello.
Hi. I know. I gotta find my. Where can you get my?
Hello.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay. Put her headphones on or earbuds on. There you go. I muted it. So good to see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. How are you?
I'm better now. It's great to see you.
Now I don't know how good this is gonna work because every time I try to use the actual camera, I get a crash. So it's an ancient rig. So it is what it is.
You said you got a Logitech C920, right?
Yeah, but I got like a 10-year-old computer.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, mine's not 10 years old, but tell me about it. That's the thing. Hello, Crystal. Yeah. So they run. I mean, again and again, things are, no matter what you buy anymore, is expensive. But they were running deals on computers for like $300-$400. I mean, they're based, but the problem is you need a decent amount of RAM because the camera takes up a decent amount of RAM. Look at Glenn says, "Hello, Michelle. It's great seeing you first time."
Oh, this is my brother Matt, by the way.
Oh, Matt. Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Matt.
Yeah. So sorry to hear about your.
Yeah. It's and then I was thinking to myself, it's like when I went to this, I told you guys, I don't know if you were paying attention. Well, I'm sure you were paying attention. I mentioned how I go into the cemetery, and I when I met with some of you came in the chat at different times. So I went to the cemetery, and my sister had left, like a little wreath or something on both of the graves. So it's like, I thought to myself, do I reach out to her and thank her? It's like, I better not. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, the different stages of grief.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he had lost a child. I guess the child was like 10 days old when the child had died. He says, once you lose a child, it affects you the rest of your life. So,
the only thing you can do in that situation is just, keep the lines of communication open on your end,
Yeah, and again, she didn't talk to me for like 3-4 years, and then she talked to me for like a year or two, and then she didn't talk to me for like another 2 years, and then when my uncle died, we were his only next of kin.
Mm-hmm.
So I had her sign off to get his body cremated because she had to sign off on it. So then we were kind of like, we were estranged, but we were talking.
Yeah,
that lasted less than a year. So
you can't pick your family.
I say that you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Yeah, I got plenty of family I'm not close with.
Right.
But I'm not mad. It's just life.
Yeah. And again, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy to have a parent outlive their child. I mean, that's got to be devastating to her.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, the way the obituary was written up, I'm not even sure what happened. It didn't say died suddenly. It didn't say accident. He wasn't sick. So I mean, when somebody in their 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s died, it could have been a stroke, could be a heart attack. When somebody 25 years old that's in pretty good health dies, it's like things, red flags come up.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't be thinking that, but it's like kind of odd.
Doesn't change the impact either way.
No, absolutely not. But what I'm saying in a roundabout way is, let's say he did die from unusual causes, let's say, without getting into details. Maybe my sister will hold that against herself.
Yeah.
Maybe she said, I should have been a better parent. I could have prevented this from happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hard enough losing your child and then thinking, well, maybe it's something that I did or I didn't do, or I'm assuming, I know he smoked cigarettes, so I mean, I don't know if he was vaping, or I don't know how, there was nothing in the obituary, so I have no idea what happened. But when somebody that age dies, you think the worst. Like, usually if it's like a car accident, it said died suddenly in a car accident or died suddenly in a work accident. But when it just says died and they weren't ill, you think, what the heck's going on here?
Guess they don't want to talk about it right now.
Obviously not.
Yeah. Anyway, a cheerier subject. So what are your plans for your channel for the new year?
My plans are to do more recorded content.
Mm-hmm.
I showed you how I bought that camera. And I got the switch pod, which was, I realized what I did. I was trying to show Casey, and I put it behind me. I couldn't remember where I put it, but that's the Canon, the M50, with just the kit lens, and then this is the switch pod, and I put an adapter on it. It's a like a swivel. It swivels up and down. So this is going to be a tripod, or you can use it, to vlog. And you put your camera on it, and then you can hold it away from you and film. I have to buy a microphone for it, but I had bought a microphone for my phone and it wasn't cheap. But I wanted to be able to record videos at eBay Open. I thought I was going to have like 6 or 7 videos to record. And what happened was everybody was kind of like, shrugging me off. And then at the very end, it's like Casey kept telling me, "Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it." It's like, Casey, tomorrow's the last day you're here, and I don't know what you're doing. You probably have plans.
Right.
So today, we're probably not going to get it done. So I literally like attached myself to him, and finally practically dragged him into the lobby of the hotel, and that, like, the check-in area. And that's where we filmed that. And then Shane Rides and Grind Picker was with us. We were talking, so Shane was my video operator.
Right, I remember that one.
I had a problem with the camera, and Casey's are like, well, set the settings on this, that, and the other, and I did it, and I'd walk away, and it would revert to the old settings. It's like, holy crap. And I really didn't need Shane. I mean, nothing against Shane, but I had like a remote, that would turn the camera off and on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so I didn't know how to adjust the settings, and it kept picking up the lighting behind us, and the picture was kind of messed up. But that's unfortunately or fortunately, it's my most viewed video, but I only have like 600 views, which is kind of pitiful for a video like that. You want a couple thousand views. But
gotta start somewhere.
Pardon me?
Gotta start somewhere. I mean, sounds good to me.
So I've been doing this for about a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
Consistently for a little over a year. I started like last October, a year ago October. Every week I was doing the show with Anita, and then Anita decided she no longer wanted to do the show. Kind of caught me off guard with that, but anyway. And then I started doing them by myself, and I've been doing them ever since. So, but the problem is with YouTube, live streams typically, not always. Again, there's always exceptions to the rule. But typically live streams only get about a 36 to 48 hour viewing window.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a stray viewer here and there. You like new people to your channel. And I have them in a playlist, but typically you're going to get about 48 hours. So if I get it, like say within the first 24 hours, I get like 100 views, I might get another, 30 or 40 views over the next 12 hours, and then it's basically done. So my live streams typically average about 140, 150 views. At one point, I think I had like 26 or 27 people in the chat. We're down to 18 now. But so you figure that's probably 30. And again, this is on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. So we have more people at home that are watching. And normally I have 10 to 15 people. Then I end up with about 150. So maybe this one might get 200 because there were more people watching it because it was Christmas Eve. They're home.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the recorded content where I got kind of sidetracked, they call it evergreen content. So if you record something, say I do something on shipping or listing or something, and if it's decent material and it gets a lot of views, then the eBay algorithm will promote it and they'll recommend it, and you'll get more views. And I talked to some people, they're getting views from videos that were produced 2, 3, 4 years ago, and they're still getting a lot of views on it because people watch it and it's still valuable content today, and then they keep watching, and they call it evergreen content.
Like if you did an unboxing of the shaver you were showing before.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like, I know I have, when I worked for Microsoft on the Xbox program, it's been a long time ago, but you would get calls from parents trying to figure out how to set something up, and I go on YouTube and look for a video of an unboxing, find some 10-year-old.
For 1 second, Lisa's dog almost got out, but she got it. Okay. Oh my God. But she did get the dog. Okay. I'm sorry. So you said when you were working for Microsoft with Xbox?
Yeah, when I had to figure out if it was a hardware issue or a game somebody couldn't figure out how to download, I'd look for a YouTube video of some 10-year-old and they'd show me, exactly what I needed to know. So, it's the little things somebody might be looking for information like, did I is this missing a piece, from the razor? Did,
Right.
some little tiny little thing you don't think is significant, somebody might be looking for it, and they just get the information just from seeing it opened.
Yeah, and again, I'm trying to keep the mostly reselling related videos, but I mean, yeah, some of these things like you see these videos, it's like they have 10,000 views, 100,000 views, 150,000 views. Like, holy crap! Why are people watching this video so much? But because there's still like with this camera, this Canon M50, it's been out for about a year and a half now. But when it first came out, it was like the go-to camera for entry level. Like, right, it was $800, which is, as far as my mind, that's a level camera. But people are still using it, and because it has a lot of good features on it. I showed you guys before. It has the fully articulating screen, so you basically pull it out from the back, and then it comes down. You can flip it towards you. So if you're filming, you can actually have like the video monitor of what you're filming. So, and again, it has a really good autofocus. So that's good for people that aren't good, newer to cameras. And it's small. It's relatively small in stature. So, I mean, that helps too. So it's good for vlogging. So, I mean, it has some negative effects, but I mean, these people just keep getting views and views and views on this Canon M50 because to this day, it's still a popular camera.
Yeah, and it's probably somebody who wants a really rudimentary video on how to start vlogging with it. You
Right.
can do that too.
Mm-hmm. I should do that. I'm definitely going to start doing that because, like, I get sidetracked because that's what I'm interested in. I mean, I do eBay to generate some income and to keep me busy. And like you told you guys, I enjoy YouTube a lot more, but it can be stressful. Like when I'm trying to book guests, and it's difficult to book guests. In fact, I have a book to guests for next Wednesday. I'm going to have to book somebody and trying to reach out to various people, but it's difficult. And then people tell you they're going to do the show, and then for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. And I hate to hassle people or bug people about doing it, but yeah. So I talk about YouTube quite a bit. So you're right. I could definitely do some information on that camera. I could do something on the switch pod, and then the microphone that I'm getting, I could show them like a whole setup. And so that would kind of cross post because people interested in vlogging might watch that video as well. What's Crystal saying about something about tamales? Bye, Glenn. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. So you were for Xbox for how long?
About 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
It was a nightmare because I came in right after the Red Ring of Death debacle when they were pretty much selling bricked up. The software was getting bricked up, and there were a lot of angry people. So I came in right after that, just before they launched the Xbox.
Did you say bricked up? What is that?
They had a situation where a lot of the consoles were dying.
Okay.
And they would get what they called the Red Ring of Death. A red ring would come up on the system, and it wouldn't operate anymore. And it was just a really, really bad situation. So there were a lot of angry people calling in. That's when I came in just at the tail end of that. So yeah,
you came into the I don't know how to I try to keep this channel at the most PG rated. You came into the bleep storm.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and then it got even worse when it came to the Xbox One because they were trying to set up the system where everybody had to be online. Whether you were playing a multiplayer game or playing at home, your system had to be on, connected to cable at all times, to the internet. And that's a problem for a lot of people,
Right.
That was another storm. They had to backtrack pretty much everything they had intended on doing with that system. That was a mess. And then they were trying to connect cable systems that I had never heard of, let alone operated with. And people are calling me to try to figure out how to connect their cable system to their Xbox One. And I'm literally sitting there trying to find a manual online.
Right. Yeah. So
Pick
you're
up something
googling.
I've never seen before. Yeah.
Is there a YouTube video of that? Can you hold for like 7 minutes?
Trust me, I looked on YouTube. I would call the company. I would call the cable company. It was a nightmare. Like it was like the worst puzzle you could possibly imagine.
And
And the person is sitting on the phone going, well, can you do it or not? I'm like, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Well, you know what it is. You just appreciate people that actually help you, because you heard me talking about how I'm going through this issue with this getting this drug, and it's like it shouldn't be this difficult. And I was in outside sales for over 30 years, and it was always about customer service. And again, this applies to any kind of business. Could be your e-commerce business. Always under promise and over deliver. And I'm talking to these people like the pharmacists and stuff. I said, you do know I'm a customer, right? I said, I realize I'm not currently a customer. I said, but it was CVS. I said, I was a CVS customer for like 20 some years. I said, the only reason I switched was because I had another plan and I had to use this particular, pharmacy because they were primary and my cost was less. I said, I'm going to be with you as of January 1st. I said, I don't understand what the big issue is. You're receiving something. It's not an opioid. It's just an enzyme. I mean, like they sell at a health food store. It's just a prescription version because it has to do with my pancreas as opposed to just a generic digestive enzyme. And I said, I don't understand why you guys just can't accept this package. It'll be addressed to, Miss so-and-so pharmacist at CVS, and then put the, attention Adam Freights on the bottom. It's like, well, I don't get it. So she's arguing with me and she's telling me, well, you got to contact our specialty division. I contacted the specialty division. I said, we can't do that. I said, what do you mean you can't do that? So I tell them the same thing. I said, it really doesn't make any sense. You people have made thousands of dollars from me and my insurance company over the years, paying for insurance for prescriptions. And now you won't even handle something. You will do it for me.
So is it some sort of prescription where they have to make it somewhere else and send it, or I'm not sure I follow.
What it is, it's an enzyme that's made into a capsule form. So the pharmaceutical company makes it. Typically they, ship it. It's ordered from their distribution centers. I don't know technically how it works, but then they ship it to the pharmacies, right? And they dispense it. But this is so expensive that 99% of the pharmacies don't carry it. Because my copay is over $400. My copay with insurance is over $400. So they don't stock it. And they won't even order it. Now the thing is with this is like I don't want them to order it because I'm not paying $400 some a month. The pharmaceutical company has a program if you're on limited income where they will provide it free of charge to you. But it has to go through either your physician's office or the pharmacy. So for whatever reason, my physician office denied it. And then I was going back and forth with them. And you know how doctors never call you?
Yeah.
Well, I had this doctor for like 15 years, my GI doctor. So he calls me and starts chewing me out. And I finally said to him, I said, doctor, I said, nothing for nothing. I said, but I need this enzyme. I said, I'm not asking you to do anything special. I said, your office, you're telling me you're refusing to distribute this. So I don't know why, but if that's your policy, okay. I said, why are you giving me a hard time? I said, I just want to try to get this medicine and try to feel better. Well, I understand, Anna, but it's a lot of extra work for me, this, that, and the other. It's like, I'm thinking to myself, seriously? And I'm thinking to myself, you could do this for me. I mean, like I had that procedure, the nerve block the other day. And again, I looked at the bill one time, it was like $6,000. The procedure is supposed to take about 15 minutes. That was the other thing. They had a resident doing my procedure. I was furious. He's poking around with the needles all over my body and my back. I'm poking. It's like, and I'm looking at myself, and I can hear my doctor's voice behind him. It's like, what the heck is going on? Why isn't my doctor doing this? I mean, and the doctor I have is the head of the department. So, I mean, there was another doctor I had to do one procedure. It's like, well, let me try the head of the department. So they have the resident doing it. It's like, you son of a gun. So finally I was ready to say something to the doctor because I was really getting upset. So I'm laying at this table for like a half an hour. It's supposed to take like 10 minutes for this procedure. And then finally the doctor stepped in and he did the last injection. But Anyway, so they billed me tens of thousands of dollars, and the insurance company tens of thousands of dollars, and they won't accept this medicine.
Mm.
It's like, you got to be kidding me.
So can you have it sent to the pharmacist, like a local?
I got to find one. Now, the most recently, they said I could try Walgreens. Now, see, I have Walgreens currently, but as of January 1st, I'm going to have CVS, because CVS is going to be my primary pharmacy, through this plan, through Horizon.
Mm.
So I'm hoping Walgreens will do it. If not, maybe I can find some little specialty pharmacy. But basically, they're doing it for charity because they're not making any money, and they won't ship it to the people if they make money on it.
Oh.
They charge me like a handling fee. They won't ship it to them.
Oh. That's
So
interesting.
that's where I'm stuck.
Mm.
So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, Michelle? I have you on now with the full blown interview, but just tell us a little bit more about it, because this is the first time everybody sees you all the time in the chat, and like I said, you're my favorite moderator. You're always there for me. And I really appreciate you. But why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? And you're in Virginia, correct?
Yeah, born and raised in Virginia, Central Virginia. I'm in Chester.
Okay.
It's like 20 minutes south of Richmond.
Okay.
What else?
You've had a lot of different corporate jobs, and
No, not really. As far as jobs go, I've had one crappy job after another, but nothing to speak of. But it's not like I left a good job to start reselling. Last job, like I said, the last job I had was with agency that was doing customer service rep for Microsoft.
right.
And I was just one day I just got fed up. I couldn't take it.
Take it anymore.
No. And I did not plug in. I did not go back. I was pretty much like, no, I think I quit. I can't force myself to plug in and do this one more day.
Wow.
So I started reselling. I had done a little bit, just hobby seller, sold a few things on eBay and just completely forgot about it for 10 years or whatever. And I just got to a point where I had stuff I needed to sell, and something reminded me I could sell on eBay. And then I saw a video of a lady named Scrapparella. I know you don't know who she is.
I don't know who she is, but no. Okay.
She used to be in a Facebook group with Chad.
Okay.
The Bigger Pigger,
Right.
a few years ago. Anyway, she was the first person I saw that mentioned selling on Amazon.
Okay.
And she also sold on eBay, and she was a scrapper, obviously. But that got me thinking about doing online reselling, and I started watching Rick and Profit, and I think eventually I found who was the next one? After Rick and Profit, I think it had to be Lonnie.
Okay.
And then I was watching a video with a cute dog in it, little Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, and I discovered Steven's stuff, and that's how we met.
Their channel has blown up, and again, I don't get dumpster diving. I just don't get it. I can watch about 5 minutes of it, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
nobody like Nicholas Hunter will mix it into his videos. It's like, okay, that's interesting. I can't watch hours and hours. I mean, when I first watching them, I was watching it for the wholesale lot, not the wholesale lots, the return lots.
Right.
Because I was saying about doing that eventually. Maybe I'd be able to do some of that when I move to Delaware, because I'll be in a rancher and they'll be able to come to my neighborhood and deliver. The way I'm set up here, I have a row house, and I mean I'd have to carry it through the house. It'd be a nightmare. But if I have a rancher, they can drop the pallet or whatever off of my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's additional. Again, you follow that, so you kind of know a little bit about it. But there's additional fees for a residential delivery. There's an additional fee if you need a lift gate. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to have a forklift that's going to be able to go out to the truck and offload it. Although I did do that at the liquor store. I did learn how to do that.
Yeah, and then you gotta separate all that stuff and have a plan for
That's
it,
it.
for
If it's
selling it.
electronics and- yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think about doing it, but I
And
don't
it's an investment.
know,
It's
man.
not cheap. You know, like I said, by the time you buy the product and you pay the whatever the fees are, and then you pay the shipping and taxes, and it's not cheap.
I'm not set up for that at all.
Right,
I mean, it looks interesting, but
right.
I'm not in a position to do
And
that.
how long? So when you quit your Microsoft job, then how long have you been doing reselling now? I mean, you said you did it for a while, then you got away from it. Now you're back doing it.
How long have we been doing? About 3 years?
3 years
For
now.
Amazon?
No, well, reselling in general, about 3 years.
Or
4 years.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It's flying whether I'm having fun or not.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy doing it. It's the most,
She's a reseller, Robert. You don't do any crafting, right?
not anymore. Not, no. I mean, no. I mean, when I have done crafts, but I'm not currently a crafter.
Right.
I'm not looking at the chat. I guess I
True,
should.
Donnie, you can get the. I used to know all that when I was following all those channels. What are they called? Those beds? There's a name for them. I used to know that. It'll come to mind when I log off.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Susan. Yeah, there's a name for those bins, but yeah, you can get it, or boxes like Donna said. But if I were going to do that, I would probably get a at the minimum a bin. Who's in the house? That is Michelle, the moderator of all moderators and the trivia.
I
She
did.
just got a Logitech webcam, and I was doing supposedly a reseller working hangout, which you guys have been working, which is great. And I ended up just chit chatting, so I'm probably going to be on for just a few more minutes. I didn't want to rush Michelle, so Michelle was gracious enough to come onto the show and share a little bit about herself and what she's doing with reselling. So,
Oh, I had a question about
Yes.
the pierogi thing.
mhm.
So is that like a Christmas thing? Like, is it like a Polish? I don't celebrate.
It's a year-round thing, but the way that most Polish people are Catholic.
Uh-huh.
There were some Jewish people, obviously, when the whole thing with the World War I and the Nazis and everything. But anyway, so on Christmas Eve, Polish people don't eat meat.
Oh.
So pierogies are a year-round thing. They're basically like pastry, not pastry.
It's like a.
Like a dough. It's like a
Potato
like a ravioli, but it's like a big ravioli.
Is
So
it like made of
it's like a
pasta?
filled dough thing.
Is it like a potato or?
Potato. They can have potato and cheese, potato and onion.
Okay.
But typically they're vegetable based, and then you can boil them, or you can boil them or fry them. Now the ones I pick up in Philadelphia, they're already not pre-cooked, but you basically have to fry them. They tell you if you boil them, they'll kind of fall apart. But typically the ones you buy, and they're not as good, the ones like Mrs. T pierogies or whatever. I mean, they're good, but they're not as good as like the handmade ones. So if you boil them, these particular ones, they'll fall apart. So basically, you just fry them in butter, and then people serve them with like fried onions or sour cream. I don't personally. And another thing was the fact I picked it up. I was thinking about the Polish traditions, marinated herring.
Marinated what?
Herring, the fish. They do it like in a wine sauce.
Oh.
So they pickled. Technically, it's pickled. I'm saying marinated. Technically, it's pickled herring.
Oh, okay.
That's also popular in the Jewish culture. So what you do is, usually they come with sour cream and onion, but I have an Aldi near me, so I got a big jar of it for like $6. So it's in wine sauce with the onions and the herring, pickled herring, and then I bought some sour cream. So then again, I'm having trouble digesting it, but it tastes good going down.
So you're a big cook? Do you cook yourself?
No, but I'm by myself, so I have to either purchase food or go out and buy prepared food.
I'd starve if I lived by myself. I'd be a lot thinner.
Pierogies you can buy. I mean, you can buy them in a supermarket. Again, Mr. T's, they're okay. And there's all different quality. It's like with like the kielbasa, which is the Polish sausage. Like you have like Italian sausage. Some people call it kielbasi. Polish people call it kielbasa. So it's Polish sausage. But there's a butcher about 30 minutes from me in Philadelphia. So they make it daily. Every day they make it fresh. It's so much better. And then there's fresh kielbasa, and then there's smoked, like how you smoke a ham. So typically the fresh is so much better and so much more flavor. But again, it has a short shelf life. I mean, you either got to cook it in a couple of days or you have to freeze it.
I'm thinking about it. My mother grew up in Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
She ate a lot of Polish food.
Okay.
There's like a Polish community.
Okay.
There that she grew up with that stuff. Funny how.
Well, like any big city, like my mother's family was from Philadelphia, and they still have a Polish section. It's kind of like mixed more now, but they still have a small Polish section in Philadelphia.
Yeah, my family is not. We don't have any cooking traditions. Not really.
Maggie's saying sauerkraut too. That's another version. Sauerkraut ones. Yep.
Yeah.
I like the potato and cheese or potato and onion typically. Sauerkraut's good too. But it's not like the real sauerkraut. I mean, it's sauerkraut, but it's not real acidic. Your neighbor Polish, she brings you some every quarter. Oh, that'd be great, Lisa. So if I can get crab cakes, Wesley was making crab cakes. Somebody else bring me pierogies, and somebody else bring me the beet soup. I already had the herring, the pickled herring. I'm good to go.
Awesome.
That's typically what we would eat on Christmas Eve. We'd have the pickled herring. We'd have the bosh, the beet soup, and we'd have the pierogies. And we'd have for dessert, we'd have babka, which is basically Polish yeast cake typically has cheese in it.
Sounds fattening.
It is fattening. I picked one up at the Polish deli like about 2 months ago, and I ate it like in less than a day.
Wow. And
that was from Brooklyn because they have all these different bakeries up in New York. And that was from Brooklyn. But yeah, it was pricey. It was like $9 for this little thing. It was like probably like, I don't know, 6 inches across. It was like $9, $8. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to just like Italian sausage, if you buy it straight from the butcher, it's so much better than buying these mass-produced things.
I always have to worry about what's in the stuff. I've got food allergies that are incredibly boring, but I'm allergic to tomatoes.
Because I'm going through all this stuff with my digestive issue. And I didn't say earlier, but there's a theory that brands like Nexium, which is a proton pump inhibitor, there's theories, and again, they haven't been proven, at least to my knowledge, but that actually can hurt your pancreas. And the pancreas produces enzymes to help you digest the food. So basically, the Nexium is turning off, I don't know what particular thing that's producing acid to digest your food. It's basically suppressing that. Supposedly, there's a theory that it also suppresses the pancreas that's producing these enzymes, and that's what's causing problems with a lot of people.
Wow.
So that's I've been off and on this Nexium now for 30 years. Ooh. So if that's the case, could very well be the Nexium. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get sued, YouTube, but I mean, it could very well be. And again, I tell people all the time. A lot of times, the cure is worse than the disease. In other words, when you're taking these medicines, the side effects can be so bad that you got to stop taking the medicine because it hurts you more than the ailment.
Man.
All right, so I gotta have you on one day for like a real show.
Well, I don't know how good I'm gonna be for a
You're excellent.
show. I don't have
Oh, I
no
appreciate you. I really, 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 really appreciate you. I'm glad that you and your brother are back on your feet.
Yeah, we're still, you know,
It's a struggle, I'm
it's still
sure.
a work in progress, but I appreciate all the help everyone's given us. I mean, it's been such a blessing, so incredible.
Mhm. Well, I'm glad we were able to help.
Yeah.
I wish I could help more, but like I said, I got bills and expenses too, and unfortunately, I
Yeah.
do what I can do.
As the great Neo said, everybody's going through something. You know.
I haven't seen that movie. I didn't realize there was 3 of those. I only saw the first one.
So the first what?
I only saw the first. What do you call it? The movie. Neo. What was the movie? I don't have a brain freeze. What was the movie called? With Neo.
Oh no,
Oh,
no.
you're talking about Neo the artist. You're talking about the recording or the singer.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the movie. I thought that sounded like something from the.
No, you know he had that song with Pitbull.
Oh, it was with Pitbull. Okay.
Yeah, he said everybody's going through something.
Not Avatar. What's the other movie?
You thinking of The Matrix?
The Matrix. Thank you. I told you all the trivia questions. No, you're talking about Neo the singer that did a song with Pitbull. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking. Because I think sci-fi. I don't think the singer.
It's all right.
I have a couple Pitbull songs.
Yeah.
Caliocho. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's always a countdown with that guy
Exactly.
and a fist pump.
Did you see him? What's about 3 or 4 years ago? He was at the Super Bowl before me. All righty. Let me get out of here to get some work done. And again, I appreciate everybody, and you'll have a happy and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa if you celebrate Kwanzaa. And I appreciate all of you.
I don't celebrate anything, but I hope everybody enjoys the time with their family.
Right, exactly. And again, cherish your family. Because life is short, basically, and enjoy them while you can.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys. So I believe I will be on next Wednesday with New Year's and everything. But I guess actually is Wednesday actually New Year's Day. Next Wednesday is New Year's Day, so I guess I'm not going to be on Wednesday either. Next Wednesday,
you can do what you want.
All these shows.
Do whatever you want. I'll
probably do something like this. All right, everybody. If you're new to the channel, my name is Adam. The channel's name is Adam's Exploits. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate you all being here. Have a happy holiday.
Bye.
Bye.